Just start a game or two.
24 minutes late.
Yeah, that's nothing new for us. I mean, it's us being us, nothing new.
You could always have like a repairing screen where you put it up while we're getting ready, so people can actually get in the stream before it starts.
That's what these mirrors are for.
Yeah, that's what the games are for.
It's a good way to open up the entire.
It is stylistic of Komachi.
Actually, I did it wrong. I should start with J2A.
The preparing for the preparation stream, you know.
So you always start on time. Quote unquote start on time.
How do you play this character? Oh god. Okay, Genki stacking, that's true.
You press 5C a lot.
What? I thought Komachis are supposed to J2A whenever possible, like this. Oh fuck.
You see? The 5C?
Press 5C a lot, pretty much. Not the best way to defeat people that are not experienced with this matchup.
If your opponent uses 5C, you use 214.
Okay, 5C and 214. I'll do it. Damn it. Where's Aristo? I need him to show me how to play Spring Hazel's Komachi.
6-6B
though. Why the hell does he do that? Why can't Genki do this? Genki should be able to do all that. Why couldn't I afford to refuse instead?
I think it's better to face somebody. I think it's better to face somebody who has better fundamentals. You know, if I were to play Komachi right now, I'd just spam J2A.
Yo, this far 5A nothing.
This far 5A is...
Okay, you said I would just spam J2A, okay.
Yeah, shit?
It's implying that will hurt me, yeah, J2A, that's the way to play Komachi.
There you go. Magic
Oh god.
I don't know anything about Komachi. Ooh, she got those really nice buttons.
Two big buttons.
Define nice.
They have big buttons.
Indeed.
Real heavy buttons. Use them wisely.
I won't get it by that. Okay, what the hell are her attacks?
She has a
J2A, Jesus.
She has melee, she has bullets.
I think you should be using that 2C a little bit more.
No,
2A also.
Yeah, the 2C is actually terrible.
What the fuck?
Isn't that the wind strike? The double wind circles?
No, 2C is the exploding ghosts.
Or this.
See, this is what I know about Komachi.
Why does nobody know about Komachi except Genki? Why is he so good with her? Oh fuck this.
I'm just
Wait, I
pushing
don't have
back.
any reversals, right? Then this Mountain Vapor is useless.
Why did you use far A like that? You like far A nothing. To far A nothing.
Far A reset is my favorite far A.
Wow, I did a limited combo.
Oh,
Be proud of me. Oh god. I need to believe in my people who say I need to push buttons harder.
Boo. That was supposed to be an unblockable, but I should use I should use the 3A, which is far better.
Why do you do that? You have 3A for this.
Yeah, I forgot.
Oh come on, yes.
Nice.
Try to come back.
Yeah, I unblockables. Yeah.
And they cross out their ground unblockables. It's like this.
Holy shit, wow. Real shit? Ooh.
I'm finally in my element, oh shit. My element I meant in the corner. Oh wow. Okay. Not gonna complain.
So like Komachi has real pressure anyways.
Oh, shit, right, that's a bad button.
I will show you real pressure.
I'm flying.
Ooh, 3A unblockable.
Actually having some air unblockables is pretty practical. As a Suika I don't have that luxury.
But you're not supposed to use Komachi's 3A as like an actual anti-air.
What is it there for then?
It doesn't combo really well.
In a setup.
Man, J2 are this most ridiculous thing. I'm not blocking them. Okay.
The real good anti-air is jab.
Yeah.
3A is like, you throw it at stupid people.
Even 2B in some circumstances.
Like this?
But 3A you just use when you obviously gonna hit.
Whoa, that combo.
Oh, wow.
Holy wow.
Like, you can't like react, that was a good trick. You can't like react to people that are like coming at you with 3A because you'll just get hit slow.
What? How did you... Did you just backdash my 3A? Oops.
Had a block low.
Wait, if I run this 6 to 3 skill, basically my 2C becomes useless?
No, you can explode with 2 and 4.
Oh right, they are explodable as well. I guess 5C too.
You like everything is explodable. Even like the wisp that comes out as a default 2C is explodable.
Okay, I need to stop doing the 2B.
Nah, 2B is strong, dude.
It's just that 2C is kind of bad on its own.
Damn, son.
That
was planned. Outplayed. Ah, why is this 6 faster than mine?
You see that sick backdash?
Oh, come on.
Oh shit. Stupid diamond dust, I blame it on him. That was all just mashing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Do you have all the skill cards in that deck?
Yeah, it was. Okay, I can't explain myself. It was because I was testing stuff, so I needed all the cards to, you know,
I see.
actually test. What is this? No.
Why did you jump? You were not supposed to jump there.
Teleport is so bad.
Ooh, machine. Let's see.
No, it's called poke because it worked.
True.
It's like the best gimmick move ever, but it's still terrible.
Ah, damn it. Wrong button.
See, if Komachi had like any of the other 2 skills on 2-2, she'd be like top tier.
And this way, not in the same input as the Taste of Death would be really great.
Oh, wow. No, don't try to jump away. I did the air unblockable, why didn't it not hit? Oh, that's shit.
Oh, nice.
Ah shit, I wanted to do 2C, not this.
Right, far away from the
Teleports behind you.
slide. She has a nice.
She doesn't really teleport behind you because you switch places with her, so you can't go behind people.
From what I know, the only use for that skill is like when you're using the shot that fires spirits into the air, and then you swap places with them, and then you just they get hit in place.
Nah, it's better to just be in the air, use the teleport, and then let them run into your air unblockable. I like that one more.
That hardly works, but you can do that to your 5C too. You can teleport into your own 5C and the enemy gets hit by.
Yo, J2A 6-6B.
You can do that if, I don't know, if the opponent's going to die with just one hit. Or just want to annoy him.
You can also do OTGs in Monsoon with it.
Yes.
And Infinite. No tech Infinite.
Why was that? How high does that 4-5A reach? What the hell?
Not very high. So exactly as high as it.
It's smaller when you start to use the character.
I see. Okay, why did that trade and the other one didn't? Let's do it.
No, Komachi's backdash has the most recovery of all backdashes in the game.
Yeah, the backdash is actually pretty fat.
It's even
Yeah, it's not
compared to
really
others.
good.
It is actually the worst backdash.
Oof, real pressure. I'm destroyed. Too strong.
Am I already defining the new Komachi meta?
Yes.
Of course.
Definitely.
Ah, why do you dash into me in spring hits? Oh.
Yeah.
Sometimes backdash has slightly less recovery than Komachi's, but it's close.
I just realized I'm doing it wrong. I should have started the stream with nice boat. Just the stream opens up the boat.
Right into the Higan. Oof, good damage.
Luckily, I put all the backdash data on the wiki.
Oh wow. That was the most useless.
Wow, what is that with that far a range?
The blind spot.
How
Do that.
Give me some
You're talking
tips
about
how
like
to play what?
raw frame data values. Komachi's backdash is the worst. You want
What?
for like
Wow.
distance
A punish of
contenders.
a far 5A. What's doing?
Does 66A into spell actually work?
Which spell?
Which spell?
The one I'm just holding right now.
No, definitely no.
Oh,
It won't work.
and come on. Oh, I did that as
All
well.
never hits.
Hit raw with it. It's the best.
Yeah, you can combo
It's the only
from 5A, 6A if you're close to the corner. Your back is close to the corner.
Oh, I have a great idea. I know exactly what spell I have in my hand. God damn it, Giki.
It was that one.
Because I probably don't run even any other one.
What?
Outplayed. Ouch, that's going to kill me? Oh, you tried.
Why do you keep using J8A in combo?
I'm probably too accustomed to Yomu or something.
Or
Hey,
yeah,
last one.
J8As that are actually broken.
Okay, and this is
Broken
going to be the
like
last one.
Yomu J8A.
Okay, this is the last one then.
J8 took too long to happen.
You know, whoever wins this one wins the entire set.
As usual.
Unless you win, then it's a desync.
Like, you have stuff like Aya J8A, which is the same thing as Komachi, it's only 3 times faster, recovers in like 2 frames, and then you have Komachi's, is like,
But it looks less cool.
I mean, most J8As are actually really good, except for Alice.
yeah,
and
like
Komachi.
every character has like a godlike one besides Alice and Komachi. They decided to give her the short end of the stick when it comes to J8A for some reason.
Komachi,
She has very bad
okay,
super
just
high
Alice.
air offense.
Big boy damage.
Well, I guess Alice's isn't that bad because she could use it for double overheads.
Yeah, it's just the worst in the game.
Yeah, Komachi's is definitely.
No, you didn't do that. You just didn't do that.
I'm pretty sure like everyone has a more useful J8A.
It's just that J8As are actually really useful for most characters.
Stupid wisps. They should stay dead.
Woof.
Okay, Foon avoided.
Yo, sprinkle wind tunnel thing is actually legit wake up option.
Oh, sadness.
Because it's
Yeah.
like a 10 frame move,
Same
it's
frame.
also like ridiculously huge. So it's like you sacrifice 1 frame sword and jab for like 3 times the size.
Ah, the stupid 5C wisp. Okay, you'll never see that coming. Oh shit, it did. Well, you actually didn't, but it didn't matter. Oh, what? How did my J2A whiff?
It always does.
Tessiro, help.
Komachi! Oh, this is actually Komachi weather. Let's go.
I see how it's better.
Basically, is that move that looks like it's good, but when you actually start using it,
Oh, this is going to be a spell punish. Oh yes.
Boom, big damage.
Nice.
you charge 3 on him.
Goodbye.
Hit him with that raw charge 3.
That shouldn't kill me. Oh. Stupid E6.
Taking down
That
like
I
Titanic.
well.
Oh man.
Okay, with this I guess we can actually start with the real podcast.
Feels like Komachi is an interesting character, that's for sure.
You say that about everyone.
Yeah, because it's the truth, you know? I mean...
No, some characters
they
aren't
aren't-
interesting, like Yomu.
Oh, come on! Oh, come on! God damn. So, that was the start of the new podcast episode. Today we have reached the 13th. That's quite a number. So, today is Hisouten Retour podcast view. We have as a guests Tessiro and Vibago. So, later on we are going to absolutely talk about Komachi. We are here for that after all. Anything that you want to say, guys, before we go on to the news?
Well, I would like to ask Vibago, like, you're pretty new to the podcast, right? This is your first one. I want to ask, does South America also have something like that? The South American community?
Actually, no. All the communication we have in that community is by Tourneys. And just random calls. I don't know. We don't really have podcasts like that.
Do you think it's an interesting idea, at least? What do you
Definitely.
want to see for yourself after this episode?
Could you, Vicky, even discuss with me a possibility for us doing a Brazilian podcast?
Oh wow, that would be so interesting.
Too bad you wouldn't understand anything.
We wouldn't understand it, but like, wow, that's expansion of community, you know? That's good.
Yeah, it was something about commentating replays from old people and new people and seeing the difference, thing like that.
I
That's
have a
really
question
cool.
for Tessiro. So, Tessiro, I know that you often commentate a lot of tourneys, not just for Soku, but for like Guilty Gear and some other local anime conventions or video game conventions.
Not conventions, they're tournaments. Dude.
Okay, tournaments. same thing. Now, have you
However,
actually?
convention.
Okay, fighting game tournaments. You have gone to other conventions to commentate for tournaments.
Conventions again.
Same thing.
Oh, okay. I'll drop it next
My
time.
point being,
Oh,
have
gee.
you actually participated in any other podcasts before? Has anybody actually ever invited you to do anything else? Because I would love to listen to you more. You have ways with words. You can talk about fighting games like no other.
Not really. Besides, like my own Twitch channel. If you also want to hear me talk, I guess there's some tournaments where I just go ham, but it's mostly just my Twitch channel in this.
You should announce them more then. We want to listen to you.
Yeah, just hit up my channel. Go to twitch.tv/0, hit that follow button. Chill.
Shield hours. We
The
can
real
actually
chill hours.
we can actually do the shield hours once we're done with the entire podcast. Usually we do that, and I don't see why we won't shield you the good old Tessiro, you know. I guess we should. We already, started pretty well in giving foreshadowing on what we are going to talk about, but we have some recaps to do. A lot has happened these days. Like, oof, man, a lot. So, I would like to start from the most, chill stuff. Yeah. So we had Dream Chasers as usual. We have that pretty much every single week. Or every 2 weeks. And let me check the challenge page.
You don't have to check the challenge page. We know zero views you want it.
I'm just checking because okay, true. 0 views was there and he won, but we had a return and an unexpected second place. So the return was from Yospal, which didn't play for quite a while, but played up to the 3rd place, and then out of nowhere we had good old Super Pengi, reaching second place and doing really, really well. So, I mean, you even missed that tourney, Morph. So, what do you think about that?
I have to apologize to my fellow Grind Boys for not being there to morally support them.
Grind Boys got shut down.
Yeah.
It was me and Yosu.
Grind boys.
That completely ruined the tourney for everyone. We need to redo it. It doesn't count. Can't let Zero Fuse have all the glory.
Well, you're in luck. I'm going to, announce the tourney later, so...
So, some people speculate that Morphman should be banned, but we have decided that Morphman should not be banned even though he has won 2 tournaments. Why is this? I actually go about even with Morphman these days. Like, he's a scary dude.
It's pretty complex. I will say that the reasoning behind those choices are definitely ponderated. There's some thought into it. We actually
Did you say they were ponderated?
Ponderated? Is that a word?
Just say some, just use some random stuff and we will just call in words.
Anyway, yeah, I make up words. What? I them. That's the beauty of being, knowing modern language. Pondering. Anyway, yeah. Anyhow, so if that's, if it is any better, we actually have guidelines now. So we are actually going to see them in the new ban list. We actually, together with Irish, decided to make some guidelines. Though don't expect much because those guidelines are as vague as possible. Because
So it's not really any guideline at all.
It's just to be there. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
So there's a ban criteria. It's just you don't need to worry about it.
Yes,
you'll take care of it.
You could always go to the objective ranking that I've been compiling for like years.
Oh yeah, the ratings.
Trust me, going by results, it doesn't seem to work. Or at least so I feel. I don't know. Up to now, it's kind of like I make this simple. It's kind of hard to tell because now we have Zeofuse got banned. Okay, fine, but now we have Yozupal back who got to 3rd place like nothing. Like
he was rusty and still got top 4.
Which
Why was Yozupal even gone, by the way?
He just have a tournament where just Blaze Dragon can't play, and then we'll call it Dream Chasers.
Ah, that makes sense.
Sounds like my kind of tourney.
That sounds like him.
Sadness, Jesus Christ. But I don't know. Probably I will need to see the next DC, and depending on how Morphman does, then we will decide. Because having Splinter, Morphman, Yozupal, all the big names, so to speak, it's easier to tell.
Just watch for the Suwako mirrors in the finals.
but definitely Morphman is doing quite well. So
there's something I'd like to say about DC. Since this is the one that I actually won, I think I participated in 3 Dream Chasers. The first one was like the 7th, I think. I don't actually remember, but last time I got shut down by Nanyako and haven't been able to participate, and that's actually where I put in a lot of time in training and stuff. So when it came to this DC, like I don't mean to come off as like rude or anything, but it really wasn't as difficult last time as the last time I played it. Maybe it's because Morphman wasn't in there, or I didn't have to fight one or Sanger, because I feel like I would have a really strong time against him.
Sometimes doing well in a tournament is more luck than skill.
True. Even
trust me on that one.
Because, no, I know this because you seed me like shit, Tessiro. Every Soku set, I gotta face Lionheart, Blaze Dragon, or Ron. Feels good, man.
I mean, you're not gonna get anywhere if you can't beat those players to begin with.
Rigged. That's a lie. That's a lie. I always get an easy placing.
Delaying your eventual death.
Oh man. It's kind of terrible knowing that I get a decent bracket usually, but I still get nothing out of it. Nice.
Were there any other tourneys?
I mean, there's a method to my seeding anyways. So
yeah, I suppose. I'm sure there is. It's just every time I think about it, usually I get a pretty good bracket, and yet nothing happens. Yeah, while we are there, actually, let's move on to the other tourney we had, which was quite a surprising tourney. It was Hearts United. It had 77 participants. That's a good number. I mean,
sure, half of them aren't any people who played.
Wait, if they were teams of 4, how could you have 77?
Yes, exactly.
I mean, it wasn't.
Wait, your answer?
My team had 3 people, for example.
Crowd exposed.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was at least more than 50. Pretty sure.
I have your answer, and his name is Normac.
Okay,
Someone explain for me.
Normac was 4 Normac.
77 is not divisible by 4.
Yeah.
Did you have 76?
I don't know, the number is right here, and it's 77, so I have no clue what's
Because
going
it's
on.
into 4.
I think Fayen puts himself like just in there for no reason, like not even a team, just his name.
How many?
Maybe-
How many teams were there?
I think 18?
18 teams, and then 19 teams. 18 teams? It's 76 plus Normac. So Normac was on a team by himself.
But anyway, since we saw that we had so many participants, I mean, is 76 the record
I
of
see, I
people who
see.
participate in tourneys?
I
So
mean,
I think we should have more of those.
okay, what Irish said about the Hearts United tourney is that it will happen probably either every 3 months or 2. I actually don't remember if it was 2 or 3, but it's going to happen not often. So I think I think people enjoy this kind of tourneys, you know, because you get to play in a team and it's way more laid back than a serious one because you have a team, so it's easier to, you know.
I just see on the stream that banner of Alt's team.
I'm using this time to show off all the banners that
Oh.
were actually submitted to Irish for the tournament.
There are some really good ones. Like, oof. Some of those are actually really good art. So it's kind of useless to, you know, dance around the major thing. But in the Hearts United, we have seen a really, you know, specific team made it out, and that was the 3 Kongs and 1 Bong.
The best
So,
of Hearts United?
Yeah, so what about that team? You know, the team that won. What about that? What happened? What did he miss?
I can show you a clip. You want that?
Sure, why not? Go
Alright.
ahead. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. What a tourney that was.
Do we really want to play that clip? Well, we have to.
Sure,
Yeah.
why not?
It is time.
Okay, nice money.
But yeah, were there lots? Was there an SA team, for example?
Oh my God, that's
training!
training!
Just have...
There was. We are the layer angles.
Dude,
What's going on? Get your ass back here! With the president!
God damn it, Irish. God damn it.
I just had a catch. Ooh, that's some 60 frame rate. Twitch. I come on, I don't accept this. You can't tell me. Oh man.
Okay, that's enough of that.
But yeah, about team turns, was there something like that in the past, actually? I mean, this is pretty much the first team tourney I've ever seen outside of the Kyoai Senpai one.
Tessiro actually made more. Team tourneys, right?
Yeah, I think we had like what was it called? There was the crew battle we had. It was 3 on 3. It's Cornerstone 13.5.
No, I remember you actually had specific tourneys that were supposed to be team based, but you had like 2 or 3 top, no more, no less.
Yeah, we had 13.5 Corner Salt. Whereas teams 3 on 3.
This is what I remember.
You don't?
I remember that it was not Corner Assault, it was something else. I had another name. Maybe I don't remember that well. The team tourneys were kind of rare, so. So yeah, it's not the first time team tourney happens, but if everything goes right, it should be more it should happen at stable frequency, so every 2 months, every 3 months, and
make sure not to miss the next one.
absolutely.
Can't let my fellow boys down again.
I thought it was a really nice tourney. It was pretty nice. Had a lot of people. There was a lot of competition, and again, we saw something really unique, like Zayton beating everyone. Actually, Zayton didn't beat just the good old Blaze, but he actually won against everyone.
Yeah, he took out all the Orb Crushers, and then during the fight versus, what was the name of the team? Team Esteem, I think it was. I actually don't know how far he got versus Team Esteem. I think he got the Wayward, and I'm not sure who took out Wayward.
Howl. It was Howl, I think. It was Adept had the chance to actually play, but got defeated, and then Howl had to finish the job. The only person that in the 3 Kongs 1 Bong team that didn't play was Ran. Never played any game.
Oh, poor Ran. Didn't get to play. Apparently he took off of work early just so he could play in the tournament.
No game though. Oh boy.
By the way, let me just cut in. As you can see, we have like 3 hosts and 2 guests. If anyone who's watching this feels like joining us, should we let them?
I don't know. We're like
Depends
this.
on who.
Depends.
Why not? Let's get Coco in here.
You can't just.
Yes.
This is religious, high level Hisouten commentary.
Yeah, absolutely. Which actually, okay, no, that's not a good moment. There is more stuff. As we said, stuff happened this week, and we have a new channel, the creative channel. Do you guys have anything to say? Personally, I think the creative channel is really, really interesting. Some people have labeled it the shitposting 2.0, but I think it's even if it's kind of shitposty at time, at least it's original shitposting, you know?
It's creative shitposting. That's something else.
Exactly. I mean, at least it's not the usual just image dumping. It's actually original shitposting or actual drawings and music and stuff. Up to now, it seems to be doing fine. What do you guys think?
I think it's fantastic. I mean, the purpose of the channel is to create and show off, your OC, right? But the thing with this channel is it's not specifically related to, or not restricted to drawn art, or digital art, or things of that nature. It could also be for, like, video editing, or video creation, or even animation to an extent. That's what this channel is for.
Then we should let Normac do some copy-paste us in there.
That begs the question now. Is shitposting or emoji art considered creative art? Does it belong there?
Okay, you're getting too deep there, Sirius.
I mean, I'm an artist, so I can't really talk about what constitutes the definition of art and how artistic things like this are. This channel is called creative, so as long as it's creativity to make, it should be fine,
I mean, the major reason why I think it's a good channel is because we actually have a lot of people that are into being creative, from drawing to music to video making, So I don't see why we won't have that kind of channel.
I think I'll hit up the channel myself, just in case I need some help working on my own videos, if I get to finishing them. Yo guys, patchy combo videos soon, just saying.
Yeah.
Is that creative? I mean, it counts. Nice. Back to more. So what else?
Let's move on to the saddest part in Hisouten history. The dude channel has been deleted.
And it's not only that. I mean, that's what happened. But there is a bit more to that. So it seems we had some kind of trouble, and we had to nuke the Lude channel and stuff. Like what? What even happened?
Server got reported.
Didn't we get here? Didn't Zayton get an email for that? So I guess Sirius can put it on the stream.
Yeah, seems that Discord got on us and.
Let me see if
People
I can
kept posting too many Subako porn pictures, and now see what is the result of that. Do you have it?
Let's see.
I'm trying to find it right now.
But in short, basically, it seems that we got what's the word? Tagged by Discord because we had lollies somewhere, like everywhere.
Who would have thought?
Probably.
Lollies. Who would have thought?
It's your fault.
Yeah, Genki, we're all blaming you for inviting Yomu.
What the fuck? She's not even lolly. She's short. It's different. God
It's
damn.
your fault.
Yeah,
Guys.
sure. Keep telling yourself that.
Your fault too, Morph Man. Suika
Yeah,
players.
fuck. I forgot. I knew I forgot something.
A MILF.
Well, Suika is actually, you know, an actual mother because she has her babies, you know?
I don't know if that's better or worse. Doesn't sound better though to me.
Or is it the lolly spawning even more lollies? Oh boy.
What are we even talking about right now?
I don't know what we're talking about right now, but when we started mentioning lollies, we got more viewers, so we have to do something right.
the magic. So yeah, in short, lollies happen, or at least that's the Discord reason for having us to, you know, destroy the new lewd channel, which is kind of sad. Like, you kind of
Sad for you, baby.
I mean, you kind of need the lewd channel. There is no reason to not have a lewd
Do
channel.
you need the channel?
I mean, it's nice to have. It's an option. Having more
It serves
options.
no purpose.
Do we see Genki's real intent of being in the server?
Will explain a lot. I don't know, man. Options. It's nice to have them, so I don't see why not having a lewd channel is bad.
Well, to anybody who
I
is-
mean, it doesn't really make a difference to how I'm going to use the server, so it's fine.
But Tessiro, is this going to change the Soku meta now?
Oh,
Now that people can't post their little
Maybe
pictures,
it'll
do you
make
think
the people better because they have better things to do than just look at freaking boots all day.
But what if people need those
Then they
dudes
can
to get
actually
good?
open up Soku and start playing, you know?
But what if I want to have a philosophical discussion about trap? What if?
Good.
Think about
Good
that.
riddance, I say.
That will get you
See
banned.
See a loot channel. It didn't need you in the first place.
you'd end up getting fear into the conversation.
Oh. I will miss those deep, intricate explanation about traps. Oh well.
You can still have your loot channel, but disallow posting pictures.
I mean, Owl made another server. Just chilling Owl really quick. If you need it,
Oh,
he's got
great.
it.
Oh yeah, true.
Like also,
He does have a server that is all about loot, but I guess. So to close it out, basically we are still working on it because, you know, Discord has asked us to rework stuff. I'm sure it will be fine. So back to podcast. Before we were talking about the tourney and, you know, the clip and everyone going wild and screaming. You know, that was a good clip, but everyone was screaming, and that was part of the commentary. So, because we have today Tessiro and also Vibago, because both of them actually participate in commentary, I think it would be nice to, you know, speak about commentary. You know, well, what do you guys know about this kind of thing? Because in my part, my commentary is kind of things. I just say things, so that doesn't sound pretty professional after all.
Are you sure you're even saying things in the first place?
Yeah, good point.
I know Genki's speaking words, but I think he doesn't want to say anything. They're meaningless. But to move on. So, since we've got so many people who commentate tourneys here, let me ask you this first of all, and I guess we can start with Vibago. So, what exactly do you love about commentating? Like, do you like commentating tourneys? I know you people commentate those non-stop, but do you actually like it? And if, what do you like exactly about it?
Yes, I really like commentating. I started commentating with the Bago reaction. It was the first tourney we made, aside from Bullet reaction. It is a BR tourney, our national tourney, and I did that with the Carabia. and we both commentate on that tourney. He's like the guy who likes to hype people, like, I can't believe he did that, and things like that. And I'm the one that showed the more technical stuff about what's happening. I love to commentate, and I love to mainly to put light in what's happening in the match, so everyone can kind of understand what's happening, because it's not everyone that is getting, not everyone knows why that whiff happened or things like that. So I kind of try to explain the best I can, of course, and I love doing that.
So then let's move on to test.
So you are. I want to say this about Vibago. So you are the technical dude, and the Karabi is the hype man. You guys work together every time, or?
Yes, we stream every tourney. Even Kujibiki likes to commentate with me too.
So you guys are actually a team. Okay, that's
Are they always the same commentators in Brazilian tournaments, or do you switch them up as well?
It's just us and Kujibiki sometimes. Just me and the Karabi. We don't have much people in the community.
So it's a 3-man commentary. Okay, so you have a specific team that does the commentary. Oh.
It's usually me and the Karabi. Sometimes a guest like you're doing with the podcast. And things like that.
That's interesting to know. What about you, Tess? What do you want to say about commentary? After all, you are a bit more, expanded outside of Soku. After all.
Yeah, I've really taken a liking to commentary over the last few years. I feel like it's like one of the more like underrated ways to enjoy a tournament, because it's like you get to talk to all these people, you get to have fun, you get to basically communicate whatever is going on, you get to hype, you basically get to like experience like almost all of the tournament that you don't get to see from just playing in it, because it's like instead of just getting to see like 1 or 2 players, you get to see like everyone, you get to see what everyone's doing, and it's like, it's a unique experience. And like you can also do a lot of things with your position as like commentary, because then you can like get people into the game by explaining stuff, or like go tell people what they're doing or what they could be doing, what could be happening, get to like show like a lot of stuff. So it's helpful for like not only like the whole community, but it's like stuff.
It's a good way to pass the time, you're saying.
I mean, you get to watch people play, and that's definitely.
And
like
what about you, Genki and Zerfuse?
Oh right, I'm part of the community.
You're also commentating tourneys non-stop, so why do you like it?
I kind of forgot about that.
You first, Genki.
Yeah, sure. Geez, that's a good question. Well, in general enjoy watching people play, at least in tourneys, because you get to see how people act. Tournaments are kind of different from casuals and other kind of games, and especially in the sea, because it's my tourney and I get to watch a lot of new players and everything. Commentary is for me is basically being in the best position to actually enjoy the entire tourney. But outside of that, I guess I just use it as an excuse to say a lot of nonsense. see, as honest as I can be, pretty much that's the major reason. I mean, I get to sit in the best position to watch a tourney, and I get to see a lot of nonsense. I mean,
you heard it, folks. He's just there to laugh at everyone.
I'm there to enjoy myself overall. So yeah, I will say that's my reason to sit and commentate the tourneys. Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. Get to lift the hype.
I mean, I'm in this position right now, and I'm saying even more nonsense. What about that? Anyway, what about you, Zero?
Commentary for me?
Yeah.
Well, officially, I think I've only commentated like 2 tournaments and then joined in on the commentary for Hearts United. So I'm still learning commentary. But the thing I know about commentary is it's very different from the commentary that like I'm used to, which is like commentary done in MOBA games. Like commentary in MOBAs are a lot more hyped, or they're much more fast-paced and always following plays and things that could happen during the game. I mean, I could mention, you know, plays like in League of Legends, and you want to start talking about that, and that's what you want to commentate. But it's different for a fighting game because you, it's even faster in a fighting game. Like you need to understand fully what's going on during the game. You need to understand. You need to like recognize.
There's a lot of knowledge involved.
You need to recognize fuzzies. You gotta recognize cross-ups, if it was a cross-up or not. You know, if it was what's the word for it? If it was like, oh, because we talked about this before, a tech trap, no, frame trap, and that's one of the things I had trouble understanding. But from commentating, like I've learned a bit more about commentating, and I think learning is actually the part I enjoy the most about commentary, because I start to learn a little bit more about, you know, certain plays in fighting games, and I also get to learn more about the players. But yeah,
so you actually use the commentary to learn about the game yourself, huh?
Yeah, that's how I've practiced my Soku.
Let me ask the rest of you. Have you actually learned, like, for example, Tessiro and Vibago and Genki, you guys are more advanced. Like, have you actually learned new stuff during commentating tournaments?
I think so.
If you're watching a lot of games, of course you're gonna like pick up stuff. I think one thing you can like learn from getting in the commentary chair is like how much you know about other characters and the game in general, because it's like it's always your knowledge is being tested, because you always have to recognize what move is being used, how they're using it. So it's basically you kind of have to like make reads all the time yourself, because it's like, oh, I think he might do this, and you get to see whether you were right or not, or whether something is the wrong move, because you could always like make a mistake, like say like, oh, that was wrong, but it actually ended up working, so is it actually the wrong move? Like,
in that case you just say, holy shit, I have no idea how it worked, but it was great.
Yeah, like you can't be afraid to be wrong. Like if you're one of the better things that you can do as a commentator is like you can if you're like able to step up to your mistakes, because you're not going to be perfect.
See, that's the thing I fear when I start commentating. Like, if I start commentating something wrong, Advice All's gonna hop into chat and be like, Zero, what the fuck? You need to recognize this. That was not 2B, that was 5C. Or something like that, you know?
Advice All is just the dark hero of community anyway, so...
Oh, I do have another question for commentary, though. Does it ever come off... Does it ever get boring for you? Like, do you ever find yourself commentating and you're like, oh man, I could be commentating some game that's so much better than this?
Well, there's something to find like every set. I mean, even if it's not between the highest level players, you can still make something out of it, or try to like make it into like a teaching experience instead of like the actual play.
I'm kind of thinking of explaining a little their options. Like he kind of can do that right now, but he doesn't use it. He does another thing that is not going to work. But yeah, you can't say much, I think. You can kind of lead them, kind of show him some better choices in the commentary. That's what I do.
Yeah, sometimes they'll like look back at their commentated set and they'll be like, yeah, he said this, maybe I should incorporate it into my game.
See, that's another thing. Like, if they go back and watch the commentary, I might have fucked up. I might have told them something completely wrong.
They just want the people who watch your tournaments. I can tell you that they want to listen to the hype voices. They don't care about the technical stuff that much. Maybe more into beginner tourneys, but
okay, if it's like a Soku set, or if it's like a really high level tournament, I think at that point you can minimize the analyst commentary and focus more on the play-by-play, because people know that in a high-level tournament setting, people are looking more towards like the epic moments. They're looking for the hype in commentary, right? But in commentating something like a lower level tournament, such as DC, I think those kinds of tournaments should be commentated with more advice than hype. I mean, hype is important towards, like, you know, top 8 and stuff like that, because you always run into the unexpected underdog, such as Morphman, who just ends up winning the tournament.
I mean, I agree, but not completely, because usually around top 8, the game on the sea become pretty real, so you can just sit back, relax, and actually commentate the fight. I mean, you can still, you know, point out that some stuff is not going well, or is not correct, or it could be done better. But overall, usually top 8 DC is actually pretty nice to watch. It's definitely enjoyable. Or at least, I definitely enjoy it myself.
For DC, yeah, it's really nice. We get to go back, and since for DC, a lot of the players that participate in it, they're trying to learn, they're trying to get better. So DC is the perfect place for them to go back to, listen to Genki and Irish tell them how shit they were at their games. It's perfect, really. I did it myself.
I mean, if you say it like that, it seems like do while we commentate is shit talk. I mean, we do that, so we do that.
It's not shit talk. I just say it like that because, well, you know, the perspective of the person trying to learn. It's like, oh, I'm getting shit talked, but they're probably right, you know.
Getting shit talked is part of the fun, man.
I mean, again, we do shit talk, but I don't think it's that hard. I mean, not anymore. Yeah, I think from commentary you can learn a lot of stuff. Pretty sure just from commentating, even DC or even BB, you get to understand a lot more about the nature of the game, like the things outside the combos, you know, the really basics. You get to see how the game works under the microscope, let's say.
That's why I think the analytical commentary is really important. So the people who are in the tourney will learn something from it. They say, but the hype is important too, because Brazilian people say I'm really boring. So yeah, because I'm dead inside and all, they don't respect that. So they kind of have to complain about how boring I am.
Said that.
They don't respect my option of being dead inside. I don't know. But
I mean,
the karate has to be there and hype the people up, so they won't complain.
Yeah, it's hard to balance how excited you have to be with how serious you have to be.
Yes.
Like sometimes if you're like too excited, then you just stop talking about the match entirely and you
you say nothing
meaningful.
Yes.
And if you're like too not serious, then you'll not even talk about the game, just make casual conversation the whole time, and then you also just end up making terrible commentary.
Yeah, you want your viewers to be interested as much as you are, but like you don't want to go over the top, so yeah, I think I see what you mean.
And you can't just be like completely commentary, like serious, or else you'll just put everyone to sleep.
Or else people will complain about you.
Oh, call outs.
by the way, I was thinking because we are talking about, you know, having duos, a commentary duo. What do you think? Like, usually DC has 3 people commentate. Usually it's me, the Bomb, and Irish. These days it has been more me and Irish, but usually there is the Bomb. So it's a 3-man commentary. But
Yeah,
what do you think?
So you got the analyst, which is you, Genki. Then you've got the play-by-play, which is the Bomb. And then you got the shit poster, who's ours.
I don't think that's a real role.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, he does play-by-play too, and I actually appreciate Irish's commentary. I think he does a good job.
So, yeah, I wanted to ask both of you guys, what do you think about this kind of commentary? Like, what's the limit of people you have on commentary? And is it good to be in solo mode sometime?
I mean,
Yes, I think it is. Tess can say it better because he usually do solo, right?
yeah, like, I'm usually alone by circumstance because no one ever wants to help me. I don't know why, man.
Oh,
Sad
hours.
Sad boys.
It's always open. No one just always by my own. No. So it's like it's a little bit more taxing because you have to pick up on a lot of things, and there's no one to back you up if you miss something. So sometimes you have to like cut yourself off short when you want to explain something that just happened because something new is just happening all the time. So it takes a little bit more practice to be a good by yourself. Even I'm not perfect at it.
Yeah, you have to make the role of hyping the people and the analytical thing. Must be pretty hard.
Yeah. And
Actually,
if you like stop talking, it's like completely silent because no one's gonna fill in the silence for you. So that's also kind of that's something you have to manage.
I see similarities with this podcast. You know, it's really, it sounds roughly the same actually. But anyway, since you said commentating alone is less preferred than commentating with other people, how much do you think the skill of the commentator himself matters? Like, do you think someone from a beginner channel, for example, could be a great commentator?
That's kind of hard.
Yes, I'm not really sure. I mean, he can hype, but the analytical part is kind of, how can I say?
Well, because you need to actually like play to be able to analyze what's going on.
Yes, most
if
people
you
won't
don't really.
I mean, if I ask you like this, let's say you were alone commentating a Soku set, and I would offer myself to help you out. Like, would that be alright, or do you think it would be not to your taste?
Well, I think you could do it. You've been playing pretty well. I mean, the only things like you need for a commentator is like at least 2 out of those 3 like qualities you need is like game knowledge, ability to communicate well, and basically
So you
recognition of, like,
should,
situations.
so you should know what you're actually talking about.
So like yeah, like
If you
need
have
to
basic
like,
knowledge,
yeah.
you can do it.
And if
So,
you're
yeah,
like not really boring to listen to, if you're like intelligible and know how to talk, like you should be fine.
So you have
Well, then
awesome
the people-
commentary. Does that mean you're like the best at Soku?
I mean, the thing is that like even like the best players aren't always the best commentators on their own.
Yes, definitely.
That's also a thing.
Are you
Because
calling
sometimes
out
they
Blaze
just,
now?
No, he's fine. He's got good things to say.
Do you have any tips that you could give to anybody else who's interested in commentating? Just out of curiosity.
Well, the first thing you gotta do is just like do it. Like you can either like try and watch games and with another person and you try to get like some chemistry going, like commentate with them, or yeah, just like try to get started. And then after you get your stuff recorded, you can like listen to it, see what sounded good, what sounded bad, and then see what you could have said. Try to get some basic recognition of like all the moves and stuff, because you want to be able to like know at least what every character's moves, normals and specials do on like that part. So if you ever miss something like that, you should definitely go like study up.
Yeah, rewatching your commentary is pretty important. You really know how to fix things in the next time. If you rewatch and see your mistakes and things like that, your miscommunication, and all.
Alright then, with that topic, do you miss anything, Zero Fuse?
Now that's all my questions.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else on my side.
Unless we have a small. Okay, so we have a small amount of commentators, right? We have only a select few people who actually do it. Now, do we want more people to commentate? Are we looking for more people for commentary?
Good question.
Would you specifically want somebody to start commentating?
I can't think of anyone in specific that I would like to like step up and like actually commentate, because we also need them to play in tournament as well, so it's very hard to do both.
Sometimes you get like Ionator in commentary though, or Advice Owl, and you're like, wow, this guy should do this more, you know? Like, do you ever feel like that?
We need advice or more for commentate. I can tell you that. He's always a blast when he's participating in commentary.
It is definitely a blast, but he's also blasting everyone.
That's the fun part about it.
It kind of depends. More people join the commentary. I mean,
let's pick the turns one by one. Like, for example, for Dream Chasers, do you think you need more commentators?
Sometimes
the ones you have.
Sometimes it won't be too awful to have, more people. So. I mean, not all together. Not all together.
You mean like a rotation, like not having the same people all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Something like a rotation. Yeah. I don't think it would be bad every once in a while to have different people explain things, because I guess having the same people every time, it's really good to have the same people every time, but I don't know, maybe getting new ones keeps things fresh. I don't know.
So what Genki is basically saying for the next podcast, we need more people. He's very tired of me and Zero Fuse.
Hey, I never said that.
You can't sleep.
Oh man. So let's move on then. I think we went on the commentary topic quite a lot. There's something else we want to talk about before moving on, Komachi. Before we were talking about the South American community, right? We were curious. You said to us, Vibago, that the South American community has a different meta than the one we use on this Discord. Well, maybe not Discord, but it seems to be different from the European NA guys. So, what do you know about this?
This is definitely Vibago's topic, so let him talk about what differences do you notice between the community here and the South American community?
So, like, the difference isn't too big, but I kind of can see the difference. For example, I think NA or EU like to. I don't play much with Europe because they be way too much. Not way too much. Like compared to Brazil, for example. I kind of play a lot in Brazil, of course. That's where I play. So I kind of can see that Brazilians like to get out basically with high jump or chicken. They prefer that over B.
So people over here tell me to border escape non-stop every single second.
And you don't do it. And yet you don't do it.
For example, I played for 4 years with Yomi. And when I tried to play in Hisouten for the first time, I saw someone being my J5A. I never saw that in my entire life. I mean, what? That's so fucking fast! So I kind of learned to punish that later, but I see that's pretty legit in some cases. But I didn't see this in Brazil. It was in Hisouten.
I can see that. I don't usually watch Brazilian play, but I have seen the Chinese play. I remember I did a little stream series where I showed Waterdeep's Chinese replays. Did you guys see that? I don't remember.
I don't think for it.
Don't think I checked that.
All I know about Chinese meta is that Oku is very popular and they like to run Dragon Star.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would you run Dragon Star? No.
Cool.
Even I'm not such a gamer.
Like work with them because they don't block at all. They block with their faces. So like Chinese meta, they're just always moving around like hyper active. Like you know how like some people like to like slow it down, walk around, and like not like be hyper aggressive. But Chinese players are always moving. Like even if there's nothing to do, they're like flying up in motion all the time. And so they run into a lot of attacks. And so That's just kind of what they.
I think it's the same over
like
here
playing a
too.
lot.
So is this their high-level gameplay though? Like, is this what we see at top games in China?
Yeah, definitely. Even in like the best players, they're just like constantly moving.
That's
So
fucking meta.
It's a lot different. But yeah. So like in the games where people like whipping out Dragon Stars, it like makes sense because then they can either like because they don't like pay attention to it that much, so they like still try to they don't adjust their movement patterns for it until it's too late. So they either get hit by someone using a Dragon Star because they just tanked it, or they just hit them at the wrong time and they just fall into something.
This sounds like my kind of play.
I guess there's some logic to running Dragon Star 24/7. It's kind of like Jellyfish Princess. You activate it when you have any moment of free time, even after a combo. You don't really get hit out of it, and you can kind of just D6 towards anybody to just end the neutral, really. I don't know, does it work?
I should try it myself.
I mean, sounds like an actual tech. You just have armor on and go home and press buttons.
From my experience, I can tell you armor moves are pretty great. if well.
See this wall of text by Cernobi Gode right here.
Oh man, the shit posting.
So here we go.
Oh
But
man,
not actually back to the topic, the difference between the South American meta and how should I call us the Western? I mean, that's not the right, but whatever. Anyway, so you, Vibago.
Northern Hemisphere.
Okay, the Northern people, I'll just call them that. So Vibago said in the defense is slightly different because here at the northern part, everyone is border escaping more than usual. But how about neutral and offense? What do you think about differences there? From my experience, from when I play people from South America, they are usually more offensive, but also more focused on movement. What do you think about that?
It's kind of hard to say about neutral, but I kind of agree with you with the offensive part. All the good players, I mean, top players in Brazil, are at least a little aggressive. They are not very defensive. For example, Machi, I fucking hate him. He kind of blocks a lot sometimes. Like, he's blocking, and then he actually gets out after 2 hours of me pressuring him. But in neutral, he moves so perfectly. I mean, he knows where he's going. That's one thing I know about him. He moves really well as Oku. It's not something that I'm accustomed to, so that's kind of...
You know, that sounds kind of funny. I'm not accustomed to people playing well. I hate this.
At least with Oku. You can't blame me.
So yeah, people don't move well with Oku, otherwise you're a psycho.
Illegal.
Yes, definitely. For example, we have Sakuya Lover too. He has really good offensive, but it's strange. I was thinking about that the other day, but Sakuya Lover is really good versus Western or other people aside from us. Don't know. He is very good, but in Brazil he loses to a bunch of people, to all top tiers. Oof. So that's kind of a weird difference because his level is supposed to be high tier, and he beats a lot of good people in NA, you know.
Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, he's pretty inconsistent too, but it's pretty funny because his neutral is really good, but he doesn't block so well. He kind of spams B way too much, and we are accustomed to punish that all the time.
So in Brazilian community, it's all about that movement and getting in and like fishing for the counter hits. People don't really block as much, is what you're saying.
We don't block much in neutral.
I see.
But when we are taking block string, we try to stay calm and even block more than most people, or just don't block at all. But like I say, like I'm saying, we always try to wait for a good opportunity. We believe it.
And why do you think this difference even exists? Like, do you think it's because of the character meta, like the character meta between both communities? Like, is one character picked so often that people have just adjusted to a certain playstyle?
I really think it's about isolation. I mean, we are kind of with ourselves without the influence of others. So you're just making our meta our own, you know? I mean, not these days. We are kind of trying to play with more people from other places of the world, but when we were kind of focused only on Brazil, our meta was pretty different.
I guess you guys have a completely different idea on the game, so as you said, that's why the game is so different. I mean, thanks to the Discord here, we can kind of fight a lot of different people. Even if we are on the same region, so Europe, you can fight people from from Scotland, from Russia, from France, and so on and so on. And I think that really helps in seeing a different style of the game. So maybe, so that's maybe the only difference we really have. But it's really strange, you guys. I mean, but I'm confused here because you said that you don't use Bird Escape that much.
But Sakura Lover does a lot, and we are kind of accustomed to him. Just Sakura Lover, I mean, not any other player spam BE that much. So since he can't be top tier, we won't let him, so we have to punish him.
So I'm a born Brazilian player, I see.
And you know, it's kind of recent that he's going to... that he's being way too much. He used it to mash a lot in the past. Now he is doing BE. It's kind of healthier, but the spam is not healthy.
So there is definitely a clear difference, I see.
That opens up the question now. Okay, so the South American meta looks different from the Northern meta, and our meta looks different from the Chinese one, and that one looks different from the Japanese one. So every part of the world has their own kind of meta, and I now ask, why is that the case? I mean, this is a game, this should be basically solvable. But why does everyone else have their own solutions? Like, is this game so open that it allows for many different styles? Or did nobody find the true meta, if I can call it like that?
So
what happens if we all combine those metas we know together into one big ball and see what happens?
maybe you'd have solved Soku.
Oh wow. Is that the
Because
mystery
stuff like that.
the Da Vinci Code? The Tassofro Code?
I really think it's about the freedom the game gives to us. Like, we have so many options all the time, even in while defending.
It's gotta be the variants. We end up discovering different kinds of tech every single day. Like, just the other day, Sigith discovered that he could combo 2B into the green DP, I forget what it's called. And that was like, oh shit, new shit. You know, he's gonna start doing that. He's probably gonna say that alt skill is probably better than green spread, who knows?
So we're still evolving as we speak.
Yes. The meta has not been solved. Like, Hisoku is not a solved game.
Don't worry, people. I'm calling it out. Me and Splinter currently, we are exploring and discovering the very new meta.
I definitely can agree on the not solved game.
No.
But it's still really strange that everything is so different in each region.
They're like stereotypical differences, and like it's been around in like every fighting game ever since they left Japan. That every region has their own like kind of way to play, and some people think it stems back to like what was popular at the time. Like Chinese players are like super aggressive because they were the most popular fighting game in China of all time is basically King of Fighters, which is like super fast, like aggressive fighting game. So that's why they always are going forward.
Yeah, I've explored previous meta before. Like JP Patchouli meta used to be Force Slasher with Emerald City. Now you might ask,
Sounds
you know,
cool.
like it sounds actually kind of strange, but the reason behind it is because Oh, I'm sorry. To go with that, you also want to run dolls. So, here's the reasoning. Because you would have the dolls, you could tank more damage, so if you whiff DP, you can tank even more damage. Now, if you have the Force Slasher, and then you whiff DP, well then you have Force Slasher to back up your whiff DP. So, it's all about getting the Emerald City out. That's what the meta. That's what
pretty cool.
Wow.
I thought of it before.
Oh,
Time to
jeez.
change my patchouli deck.
It's way different because they're very patient and optimal. Like the Japanese are like very focused on doing things the right way in their opinion. So they're not like the most creative people. So like they'll just follow the leader if they see something that works. So it's like you won't see a lot of like wild stuff come out of Japan. And like meanwhile, like here and like we go by feel more than like what's optimal. So like we'll just like we'll do what looks good at the time. So you'll see a lot of more crazy stuff from us, that like weird thought patterns and stuff like that.
That's because we want to find that hidden tech. We have to discover it.
Reminds me of good old Morpheer that does fucking Atlas in Vape. Like, what the fuck? What is that?
That's actually a pretty interesting point. I feel like when I talk to better Suika players, like, you know, Yaffe and Frudia, and whatever I say, they always say whatever I'm saying, it's wrong. I don't know why I can't agree with anything with them. I don't know why, but I know I'm not that wrong. What I'm doing, it works. And when I try to explain it to the higher level players, they just say that's garbage, that's wrong, you should disregard it.
Yeah, because what you do looks retarded.
If it's retarded,
I can't agree more than just saying yes. Sadly. But I mean,
but
I
that shows the
understand.
difference between our meta and the Japanese one, because in the Japanese one you just listen to the higher level player and you follow him without thinking. I don't know, maybe is it a good trait for us to actually not do that? I don't know, maybe I'm an exception. I don't know, what do the other players do? Does Splinter, for example, listen to Ionator unconditionally? I'm not sure.
Well, I can say for myself, you can probably see in my gameplay, it's very flowcharty, so maybe I have that. I mean, I'm not a weeb or anything, of course, haha, but maybe I have that JP mindset where I just want to do everything correctly. I don't want to make mistakes, so I end up doing like the same stuff every single time. As for Splinter, I don't know.
How about you, Genki? Are there better Yomus than you out there?
Japanese style gameplay.
I actually, when it comes to technology, I don't ask literally anyone else outside of myself. But when it comes to mentality, I actually always go to Slayer. He's always been there to answer my mentality question. So I don't really research technology with other Yomus, but I definitely need the mental help to, you know, go home, if that makes sense. Though I did find more technology with the help of Splinter, Yor, and One, a lot of other people. I never actually played Yomu with other Yomus and found stuff. I actually found stuff by you know, training with people that never touched the character, so whatever. I'm not sure how it works, but it worked, so...
Well, people say that the Japanese players are still more advanced than the Western players, but they don't follow that example you were just, that scenario you just described. Do you think we in the West might have actually an upper edge over Japanese player in that regard, that we might get better than them in general, maybe in several years?
There is...
Well, I don't know if they're still playing that much, so it depends if they actually still really invest into this game. Because I have not seen stuff from them in a while.
Let me think.
There's still some very strong players over there.
Well,
like
if what...
Monowai is still on another level compared to every player in Hisouten.
True facts.
I guess if what Tessiro says it's true, so the Japanese player don't really do any crazy stuff. I feel like just for the fact that we do have people that try to be a bit different and play really unique cards and try to find new ways. Like, even you just doing Vapor random cards makes sense in context, because you basically have a deck that is made reversal, so it's pretty... There's a high probability that while in Vapor you get a reversal. It kind of makes sense, but it's super crazy. Like, madman level. Yet it kind of makes sense. So I don't know. I think if we played more seriously and we keep following this kind of line of thought, we could actually get a lot stronger. Or so I think, at least.
Well, I don't know. The Japanese are usually the strongest in fighting games.
These
It's time
days,
to change it. It's time to
Do everything right mentality works most of the time.
these
That was
days
before
they
my
kinda, I feel like these days the Japanese in all fighting games are kind of so. They are still working, but we are catching on finally. I don't know. Depends.
They haven't seen Splinter in me yet. That's all where it's going. I'm telling you, people. But okay.
Just join the Japanese tournament already, Morphman, and then tell us when you win. Tell us all about it.
With that 8 delay game, oh yeah. I can't handle it. I will win those easily.
So before moving on to the real meat of this podcast, there was a last question. So all this, I talk about. Huh?
I just posted it. Like we can also ask. We just talked about differences between our metas. So what are the similarities? Like what does everyone know? What does everyone do?
Does everybody know how to border escape properly?
I feel like kind of. Yeah, kind of is my answer. There we go.
Define properly.
There's lots of BE points, right? But sometimes a BE point can be considered like better to have done a BE during a string. Like if you're trying to border escape during some kind of air string and you notice a pattern that your opponent is doing like a J5A and then bullet instead of doing J5A, J2A and then bullet, then you'd want to border escape the J5A. So I would say this is a proper BE. Other proper BEs is like border escaping most 6As, 3As. Because, I mean, I don't know, do all regions do this?
Well, at least in Brazil, we do.
So I guess that's. I'm sure the Japanese too do the same kind of border escapes. So I guess up to that, at least it's fine for every single region. It's probable that the real changes in meta are more, less about the mechanics and more maybe the usage or the unique stuff,
I think neutral, because combos and block strings are kind of the same. The character has this block string, then in every place in the world he's going to do that block string. It's his block string. But neutral, you kind of can't tell exactly what you do. I mean, you can, for example, Komachi, you do 5C and try to hit with J6A, things like that. But it's always differently, because the game gives us so much space to do a lot of things that it's really hard to be the same thing all the time. So I think the difference is there.
I think another thing for similarities that we have between regions is the play with neutral. Like, I know you said that there's a lot of movement in SA community, and that, like, here in Hisouten, there's a lot of neutral being played via bullets. Here at Hisouten, it just feels like we always throw bullets at each other until somebody makes a mistake, or try to counter hit with, like, J6As, J2As, and try to always approach at angles. Is this a common thing amongst everybody, or is this like, is Chinese and SA community meta just, not like that? Is that not a similarity?
It looks more like a game mechanic.
Yeah, I think it's really about the players. For example, Machi and me, we kind of do that. We spam bullets all the time and wait for a counter hit. Not much different.
Yeah, so it's really not that different. This is a bullet action game. You gotta play the neutral, you gotta graze, you gotta get the fuck in there.
Yeah.
Nah, just for bullets, stay out of their sights
Mash
and
that
win
and something
easily.
I'm sorry, I'm always gonna give
The
you
most
shit.
important parts, you're right.
Hey, could be a part of a new meta. You just wake up. You never know. You never know. Depends on character. Oof.
And then, as the last points, as I tastefully named it, real shit. Who do you think is better, South America or EU and NA? Discuss it, people.
Let's go. Simple answer.
What do you guys think?
Who's best? Get out your opinions. I want real shit. I want real discussion. I want people raging at each other. Iron already saying it's South America.
Okay. Actually, I feel like I don't know enough about the meta, but outside of that, I feel like South America is really strong in general. Maybe they just have more spirit and they play more. So I would say, I don't know. I feel like that. I mean, DC has a lot of South American players, and I've seen a lot of South American players do really well, and a lot of top tier Soku players are South Americans. So I guess. Sounds like it. Yeah.
It's really hard for me to say because most of the top players I know are from SA, so SA is better because I know more top players in SA.
I mean,
I'd say strength in numbers. So
So the Chinese win.
Yeah, Chinese always wins.
oh man, that's sad, man. Oh man.
I mean, NA is very strong right now. NA has a ton of practice into Soku. Like even players like some newer players, like the Bomb, are just becoming really strong. I'm getting up there myself. I don't know if like I'm getting top tier patchouli, but like NA is putting in the effort.
If I look at the Twitch chat, they say SA wins against everyone.
Well, I mean, it's pretty easy to win once you have coin flip on your side. So, I'm just kidding, guys.
You will never go below 50-50. That's true.
Oh man, whoa.
This is call outs.
When they had better luck, I guess.
The real question is, when are we going to see an uprising by Europe? Now that's...
What's here? It's already coming, Genki. It's already coming. I told you. Me and Splinter. We single-handedly are going to beat Blaze and IROC.
Easy, just like that. Bam.
Just give it time.
We're
on the road.
Give me 6 months. I'll be best patchouli NA.
I should be playing that. Oh boy, why am I not playing? Anyhow, I guess that solves the question right now. So, on to the real meat of this entire episode. We want to talk about Komachi. So, as usual, I think we can, present the character at the base, like the Toho base. So, what do you guys know about the character as, Toho character?
As I said before, talk about your huge tits.
Give me the lore.
Well, I hate Phantasmagoria of Floraville.
Good start.
Like, I played all the whole games, but Phantasmagoria, I can't. I really like Komachi. I started to like her in Hisouten Soku, actually. It was not even in Scarlet Letter episode. It was Hisouten Soku. I started liking her there because I can't play Phantasmagoria. I can't.
So Komachi is a shinigami, right? And her job is to ferry the dead souls across the Sansu River. And I think the things, the coins she uses in the game are like supposed to be the coins that she collects from the souls, right? That's that's like her tax.
That's some real lore.
Traditional thing, like when they bury their dead, right? They bury them with like money, so they can have something to pay the ferryman of the river Sansu, so they could get across the river to the
that's right. I heard of that.
That's pretty cool.
So like all the money, the more money you put with them, like the better trip they'll have, or something like that. So that's why Komachi has an almost infinite supply of coins.
Oh,
Well, pretty much infinite flat coins.
So, like,
That's
she's
why
rich.
She uses them for her non-Maku.
that
Yeah.
that explains why the system card is actually infinite. Huh? Neat. Makes sense.
Well,
Yeah.
it's Penny saved. so it's saved. She's saving them all.
It's always there.
So those are also the source of the Koma coins used on Komabot. Just so everybody knows, it's infinite.
Yeah, I can just make as much currency as I want. I don't think Komachi actually needs to buy anything though, so it doesn't really matter. I don't know if she gets paid for her job.
I mean, she gets
This is the
coin
perfection.
already.
She gets berated by her boss, but does she ever like get paid? Does she get like demoted? I don't think she's probably has so much tenure that doesn't matter what she does. She just gets her job permanently.
Yeah, we don't actually know if there's like other Shinigami like Komachi who have the same job. All we know is that there's like Komachi, and the reason behind the reason why she holds that scythe, if I remember correctly, is to make her look like a Shinigami. You know, like somebody who's supposed to look like the Reaper, so that way people come to terms with their death a whole lot easier.
There are
wow.
others. She
I think
talks
it was
about
supposed
it
to
in
move the boat.
SWR.
Oh wait.
Yo, what?
Wait,
There's
wait,
more than,
what
there's
the-
more than
what
just
does
Komachi?
Why does she even has this side? Is it to row the boat, just to look as a
Okay, from what I can tell, the site is supposed to make it so that when the ghost sees Komachi, they realize that, oh shit, I'm dead. And they accept it easier.
That's what I'm saying.
Just like in Soku, just like in Soku.
We're already fucking dead, guys. Komachi's
When the
here.
Komachi player looks at Komachi, he thinks, "Oh shit,
It's time to press escape.
I'm dead.
I'm dead."
But yeah, Komachi's job isn't actually to go collect souls. She says that the other Shinigami do that. So like when she fights Tenchi in SWR story, she says she was going to end Tenchi because apparently Celestials are cheating death, so that's why they're like the enemies of Shinigami, and they're always trying to. So yeah, like
Wow, they're
Tenchi is
skipping
actually
death.
one of Komachi's like enemies, quote unquote.
Komachi.
Yeah, you know, fuck Celestials. They're like not following the rule. Like this is cheating.
Yeah, but
It's funny
she
because
says
Komachi
that killing her isn't her job.
is so poetic. She speaks so poetically in some ways, and as WR.
Another thing I know about Komachi.
Smart.
Another thing I know
She's
about
got-
Komachi is that like she has the ability to manipulate. I think it was distance. Now, does this show in Soku at all? Like, do we see this a lot?
Of course.
I think so. Don't Soku skill actually do that?
She has plenty of skills that work with like distance and stuff, like taste
She
of death.
trades
If you hold
views
it down, it brings people in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the vacuum scythe too.
Confines of Avicii. Don't know how to say that. It's the 3 card, the
Yeah.
pink pill.
And I guess there's River
Oh.
Mist.
Oh,
Yeah, you know her
Oh,
weather.
wow.
Come on, manipulating distance.
that explains so much.
Shout out
I'm
Stick
lear-
Up. I force
I'm
River Mist.
learning.
Yes, River Mist is explained by her boss.
I'm learning so much today. Oh jeez.
And penny saved makes distance.
True. Pushback. Oh jeez. The lore is too real right now. So before we get to woke right now, tell me, why did you decide to play Komachi? Is there a character reason, or you just like the gameplay? Like, tell me.
I'll let Vago go first.
Okay. Sure.
The normal symbol for I have no idea what to say, so I let the other one go first.
I really like the character, but it's mainly because of gameplay. Because, like I said, I played Yomu for 3 years. Like, I played a lot Yomu, but then I started liking her, and I like way better than Yomu. Don't know why. It was kind of suddenly.
That's definitely interesting. I mean, it's a complete change in gameplay, so
Yes, definitely.
it's really hard to imagine the change.
But I used to play with all characters, so I kind of used a certain character versus someone that uses, for example, and uses Patchouli. So I tend to use Patchouli to help that person kind of understand her game plan or things like that. So I used to do a lot with Komachi because of a new player that used to play her. He doesn't play anymore. I wonder why. But so that's it. I started playing with her, and then I kind of thought, this character is really cool. I want to learn everything about her. So it's here.
So in the chat we have a theory about the season characters.
Read it out loud. Read it out loud.
So low tier horror.
So
So basically, when it comes to me and Komachi, right? Soku's like one of my first Toho games. My actual first Toho game was like IAMP, and then I played SWR, and then I played Soku. So I started to get into the game competitively, and I was like looking at lists and stuff for who I wanted to play, and I'm just like, do I really want to play a super good character, or do I want to play a mid-tier character, a low-tier character? And I'm like, Komachi looks cool. I don't think most people don't play her. I was like, I wanted to be like that cool guy that plays the character that no one else does.
The low-tier hero.
Yeah, but that was like 4 or 5 years ago when I was like just starting out in this game, and I was like playing, and I saw this really cool player. It was Magister. Magister is like inspiration. He was like, watching him made me want to play this character so much, so that kind of what led me into being a Komachi main. And
I relate to that.
damn.
Yeah. So basically, it was like I started liking, started like really getting into like the game and like Toho and stuff by playing Komachi. So she kind of just became my favorite character in the whole series. Kind of like she was like my introduction to it. So yeah, now I'm a Komachi main still. I've tried to move on like a few times, but I'm just like, I always keep coming back. So I'm kind of stuck.
Interesting reason. So you got inspired. Oh.
Magister inspired me a lot too when I was trying to play with her.
He's ridiculous, man. Prime Magister, he was unstoppable. You see people say Komachi's bad, and then Magister would just like completely roll over people while saying Komachi is bad.
That's magical.
Oh man, the bad manners, jeez.
Like he would never go say like Komachi was actually good at anything. He would just win. He would let his skill do the talking.
Doesn't matter if your character is shit if you're good, right?
I mean, that sounds about right, yeah.
He really didn't really care about how good Komachi was. He only played her because waifu. True inspiration, man.
That's the secret power of waifuism. If you like your character enough, you will get strong with her, no matter what. No matter the pain you have to go through.
Honestly, Fuji, I don't think there's like a single Komachi player that hasn't learned from Magister in some way.
Because there's no single Komachi player except you two anyway.
I mean he was like the best in the world. Like there wasn't even a Japanese Komachi that was as good as he was.
Even today, I don't see a Japanese Komachi better than him. Japanese Komachi don't like to do pressure, it's weird.
But yeah, as you can see in our flow, we just ask you, do you have a personal connection to Komachi? I mean, if you just say I'm lazy and she's lazy and I'm lazy too, well, fine by me. But is there something else you like about her?
Well,
just hit the nail on the head.
We waifu boys? a simple yes or no.
Well, for one thing, scythes are awesome.
It's an underused weapon, that's true.
Pretty edgy though. Even if the
she is the fucking Grim Reaper, of course she's edgy.
Okay, but I mean, as a
I don't know.
Not that
it's like the way that Komachi is still like a very carefree character, despite her job being the most morbid thing you could actually do, is actually kind of cool.
I mean, talking to dead people doesn't sound that boring if you ask me. I mean, then again, there's people who do that in real life too. Professionally.
Real life Green Reaper.
So yeah, Komachi is just a combination of a lot of cool factors. She's got she for one looks cool. She's got a scythe. She's a very thoughtful character. She has good things to say about like stuff like that people don't really want to talk about, like death and stuff like that. And she's also got a cool power. That manipulating distance is like one of the best ways to be lazy, because you can just bring things closer to you instead of going there.
So she's the perfect way to say teleports behind you, right? Manipulate distance.
Can't teleport. She just
teleports. Teleports in your place. It's basically it.
Swaps places with you. It's nothing personal.
So would you say the character?
Yeah, she also has big tits and all the.
I was waiting for that one.
Oh man, yeah, that was kind of obvious, but nothing was happening. So okay, so do you think the character in game, and this I mean between skills, spell cards, anything, is nice to look at, to play, to feel in game movement, etc., etc.
Yes. J6A counter hit is the best thing that can happen to a world.
Yeah, man, J6A is like the main reason to play Komachi, as well as that air dash. Both of them together just go super well.
Her moves are like so cool. Really cool to look. Taste of Death counter hit is awesome too.
Yeah, she's very satisfying to hit with. Like when you get a big hit with her, it just
really
feels
satisfying.
awesome. Even though it doesn't actually do that much damage in the end, but it feels good. It feels good to use her. When the stuff works out, it's honestly a great feeling. When you hit someone with this huge counter hit, it's like, I felt that. I knew you were gonna do this, and now you're gonna eat this huge ass punish from this counter hit because you played into my hands.
The huge ass punish for 2k damage in the end.
Kind of weak, but that's the low tier life.
Even in coin sound is something I love. I love the coin sound.
So definitely. Go ahead.
She's got like a lot of cool tools that no other character can really make use of. Like the whole like 2 mechanic. That's something that no other character can do. Even though it's not like the most useful thing, it's also like it's an option that's underrated. And
I really like the fact that practically all of her skills are good to be used. You can vary a lot in gameplay. It's really cool.
Yeah, she's got a lot of viable skill sets. And they like flow together pretty well. Like they have like certain like combinations that have super good synergy.
So I hear that you're actually waiting to talk about her skills and spells. Both just went so well into it. Shall I stop you? You want to continue?
I mean,
she also has a badass forward walk.
Ooh, that's true.
Yeah.
Walking forward is like one of the true taunts in this game with Komachi, because she has so much swagger.
This wag walk.
Okay, the new Batman attack is to just walk forward as Komachi.
Pretty much, its best round end is just walk forward.
It's pretty intimidating, so.
When you have 5C set up and you just walk forward because you know the person won't hit you because of the cover. I love that.
So, I guess we can move on to the technical aspects of Komachi. After we are here for that. Let's move on to the skills. Do we have, let's see. I don't have the page open, so I just asked
you. Can we talk about 5C first, though?
5C also, it's a normal. What's up with that?
I could talk for 2 hours about 5C, honestly.
Wow, then go.
God damn. We don't have all that time, so we need the.
I know, right?
I mean, you just saw the mirrors that
You can't
5C was
start about
barely used.
Komachi without 5C, man.
Okay then. You go ahead. Surprise me.
Okay, so like 5C is basically the move that you want to have on screen as much as possible. It's also like a surprisingly good anti-air. It also works as like a combo ender, and it also is a block string tool, and it, like zoning and like everything. Like you use
Is there anything it can't do?
You can't use that as a poke.
That's what you
can't
think.
mash it out. you can't mash it. It takes a while to get out at some time.
Yeah, it's a mod.
It's also really easy to hit her out of it because it's just one small blip on the screen, and some characters are just throwing omnidirectional shit like Yuko. So it's like, oh man, this one 5C versus all these butterflies. It's not fair.
It's funny because the more the 5C is on the screen, the more awkward is his movement. So it really takes people by surprise.
Oh yeah, 5C has this really weird pattern. It like moves as like a sine wave, so it goes up and down, but the amplitude gets higher and higher as it goes.
Yes.
So it starts just moving wildly, and it's very hard to follow.
I always thought it's roughly the same as Utsuho 6B, like just to have a slow bullet there that's just there to annoy the enemy.
Nice.
Is it pretty much the same, or does it have more uses than Utsuho 6B?
I don't know. I'm running of this 5C a lot. Like, I don't know. It just zones
5C
me. I get afraid of
is
it.
way better than Oku 6B, honestly. Like, it basically covers space. You can move with it a lot easier than Oku can. You can basically, like, checkmate people into bad situations where they either have to move away from it or just run into, like, a J6A or something. And you can always just 2C if they're not paying attention where it is. Like, just because they think they grazed it or they got behind it, you can always just last resort 2C and it'll counter hit them for a ton of damage. So yeah, it's legit. It also moves slower than 214, so it's easier to follow. And you can use it in the air.
Now, you saw me and Genki with the mirrors at the beginning, and barely one of us used 5C. Like, it seems too slow to be actually viable. Like, what's the secret behind it? Like, when do I have to use it? As OK?
You just need to, like, learn it and use it. Like, the main thing that separates, like, Komachi players from, like, the subs and the people that just pick her up is the 5C usage. Like, you can tell an experienced Komachi player knows how to use their 5C, and people that don't really know how to use her will just try to, like, move around and stuff without it.
Yeah, it's really good to use in Okizeme when you don't run a Okizeme card, because Komachi has a lot of Okizeme cards and skill cards. But 5C, it really depends on when you use it on neutral, when and where. Because if you don't be careful with where you throw that, you get hit by something. Because, yes, she stays in that motion for a long time. And you have to be careful with characters who have stronger bullets. But setting 5C is advantageous even on dead characters. Because they will focus on clearing the 5C so you can get in. Things like that. Some strategies.
Can you land cancel this? Does it have like large recovery?
Yeah.
You can land cancel.
Land canceling this move is super cool. It's super good. Like, if you can get in the air and land cancel 5C, it's way better than doing, like, standing 5C or J5C and just floating there. It takes a little bit of practice, though.
It doesn't sound too hard, to be honest. But now that we talked about the good old 5C, or are your 2 hours not over yet, Tess?
I mean, you can go on to some other moves, I guess.
Hold on. Tell me about your J2A tech. Give me the secrets.
Every time you have a free move, do J2A. That's what I understood.
I mean, J2A is a good move, but it's not as good as like spam it everywhere. Like J6A is that tier for Komachi where you want to use that move as much as you can. But J2A is more like a hard read sort of move, or you have to like plan ahead because it's so slow. You have to make sure that you use it in very safe places because you'll just get hit out of it if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, you have to really think about that move. It's not as easy as it looks.
Like in neutral, it's not going to be like the best thing. It mostly shines in like Okizeme and like just like keeping people from like respecting where you're from, like chasing you, you know.
Yeah, J2A is really good against people that like to chase you with all of their might, with full screen flies or something like that. Can punish people very easily.
Okay, well with that, I think we can move on to skills and spells.
Well, we didn't even go for J6A, but it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Not like last time.
I feel like J6A is the real like breadwinner. J2A.
Well, I mean,
we just write it off as everyone just used J6A and no other move.
We are going to talk generally about Komachi anyway later, so there is no reason to rush it, you know? You can take your time. Skill, spell, general stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, tell us about the skills of Komachi, because I know there's at least one alt you want to always use. So I hear you say it as. So, what about that?
Well, yeah, it depends on like the matchup, but you're usually running at least. Maybe you're using like 1 or 2 alts a game with Komachi, depending on who you're playing, but they're all like very good alts. Like, where do you want to start? Scythe of the Reaper 236?
I usually run a lot of alts too, but the important part for me is that you always have to run an Okizeme alt, or even the default 623. Komachi's Okizeme is really good, so it's always good to have a card for that. 5C, it's not as good as the other cards, and she has one Okizeme card for each input, so we really have a lot of options.
I never saw many Komachis around. Do they actually use Okizeme cards? I mean, the only ones I fought so far are Tess and Aristo, and nobody else. And I don't think both of you run those Okizeme cards.
Well, you don't really need to run the Okizeme card. For example, if you run other cards, you must have at least default 623, which is the basic default Okizeme. It's not a must, but I think it's important because of her really strong Okizeme. It's how I play.
Like, even skillless Oki isn't that bad, because you always have J2A.
Yes,
yes. Like,
and even J5C. J5C, it's okay too.
So yeah, let's see. Scythe of the Reaper.
Scythe of the Reaper. Bombo Machine.
Yeah, you use it all the time. And like every combo, it ends them very well. It lets you get actual damage from your 3A.
That thing works in a lot of ways. For example, you can snipe people with it. You can limit combos that you wouldn't be able to limit without it. You can do some strong block strings with it. It has a lot of uses. And you can use it in air.
Yeah, it's like her only air skill. Besides 2-2-B-C, which isn't really an attack. So yeah, it's her go-to air skill. So you can use it really easily. It's easy to like get used to. And it's hard to play without it once you get used to it, because it's so useful.
Yes, it's really useful.
So this is more of a commonly run alt skill.
Yes.
I like see it in like 90% of Komachi decks.
The Cookie Cutters decks are Scythe of the Reaper and Taste of Death.
Taste of Death? Which one is that one?
It's the 2-2
move I get caught by every single time.
And then slashes down. It's like I don't know which number it is. I think it's the third 2-2.
Yeah, I see it. Do you want to talk about the skill a little bit? What its usage is?
Yeah, Taste of Death is like your run-of-the-mill melee skill, but the fact that it's a melee skill is what makes it so strong. Because even at like, if you don't go into like the advanced tech with it, just having an option to stop people from jumping or dashing after far A or 6A when they're too far away, or you can't cancel on anything but bullets, is just like easy. Because not only do you get the chance to make your block strings stronger, you also get to get like respect for things that you usually wouldn't be able to. And then on top of that, you get a feint, which is like crazy because then you get all the resets you'd ever want from this move, because once you start making people respect it, you get to cancel it and just dash back in, cancel it, do far A again, cancel it, just jump. You could do, basically the world opens up to you once you start using the skill at the level where you can make use of the feint. And then on top of that, you get the ability to basically confirm raw hits into like tons of damage, because the base damage on this move is insane. So it does everything.
It just does everything.
It literally does everything.
Well, there you have it. I mean, if you want alt skills, you try this stuff. Is there any of the alt 236s you'd like to make a shout out to? Like anything of the any of the other alt 236s you think are worth anything?
Human Spirit Passing By is underrated. I think that move is actually like strong. When used right, it's just a little bit more difficult to use than the other one.
Oh, Genki was using this earlier, wasn't he? Yeah, during the mirrors.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's Human Spirit Passing By. It's a really cool skill and really synergic with Taste of Death because of the same animation. And you can use it to cross up Okizeme and even neutral. And it had some good sniping options too, because it hits backward, so you can catch some spammers.
Yeah, like it basically controls the grounds a lot better than the default, because it doesn't disappear when you graze it, and it can come from both ways. I really like it in the Yomu matchup, actually. Because Yomu likes to dash on the ground a lot and stand there. So it really tried... Oh. Is there like a Discord problem?
I think there's a Discord problem going on. Everybody's dying, so it's just me and you, Tess.
Okay.
I'm not sure what's going on, but let's continue.
Okay,
so we're in the middle of alt 236s. You just covered that, and what about the alt 22s? Because from what I know, in alt 22 you typically run Taste of Death, right? Like you just covered. But I like to think that Endless Way is like really strong, because any skills that tend to like mess with your positioning, mess with your movement at all, they're just really strong. Like Spring Wind on Patchouli is just really good. Do you want to talk about any of those?
Endless Way is a kind of unique skill because it doesn't really do anything on its own offensively. Like, Endless Way is more of a knockdown setup card, because what it does basically creates a mini version of the 3 card, which restricts horizontal movement when you're inside of it. So basically you want to like set this up off like a 3A knockdown into like the charge version, or you want to like do a knockdown like from J2A, like 6A 2B into it, and you basically have more options. It makes their attacks easier to cover, so you can like cross them up easier if they try to roll. You can keep them in the corner and keep the pressure on a lot easier because they can't walk away from you. It's like you basically have more control over the game. It makes your momentum a lot more powerful than without it. So
Okay.
unless you like,
Finally back.
You back, guys?
So-
Are we good?
Sorry.
This
was
for
our-
technical issues happened.
Yeah.
Just on
That wa-
time. We were just talking about the Endless Way, Alt 2-2.
That's my favorite card.
Oh,
you know?
that's a good one.
It's pretty good, right?
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
I really like it too.
But
It's
that's
just
not the
that
teleport.
it shares the same input as Taste of Death, so you have to make a very hard decision when you go into a game whether you want to use this or you want to use the more reliable.
Yeah, because Endless Way is like the best of Okizami's skill card she has. It's really good.
It's
Oh,
like,
is it the one where you can't move forward after getting hit?
Yeah, it should be the pillar that
Yeah, the
stops
pillar.
the movement.
Yes, it's the same thing as the 3 card.
Okay, that makes me wonder for the opponent who actually gets hit by it. Like, what is he supposed to do when he's in the middle of the pillar now?
Block. Let's be real, he's got a block.
Nah,
block,
he can't
so-
just blocking forever now because otherwise the pressure will never end. Like,
if you want to escape, you want to try to go
Counter-pressure.
up, because the pillar doesn't restrict vertical movement at all.
oh, not vertical movements.
Only
I wasn't sure of that one.
Interesting.
Yes, you can actually high jump and stay in the air. And if you're Oku, you can use J8A forever because that thing just stops you in the air. You can also
Alright, so you think the worst option when you get caught in it is to actually just stay on the ground. I always try to stay on the ground there and hold.
Well, first thing you want to do is make sure you tech into the corner, because if you tech forward at all, you're just going to get crossed over. You're just asking
Yeah,
for it.
a lot of people make that mistake. A lot of people make that mistake. If you tech to the corner, you waste time of the pink pillar, and you stay in the corner because you won't be crossed up by it.
Yeah, like that's
It really is
the first step.
perception.
Makes a
Yeah.
huge difference.
So I guess this one works the best against the enemies who can attack for longer distances, right?
Yeah, like Alice.
I think.
Oh,
I
God.
always use Endless Way against
Using
Alice.
against Alice, that
You
sounds
use it
horrible.
versus Pachuli too. I just feel like you would.
You can use that.
But you
You can use that skill on all characters. All characters, even characters that don't have long tech. It's useful, like Remilia. It's really good versus Remilia because her tech is really annoying to catch if you don't have that.
Yeah, definitely. So it's like one of those really strong skills that like help you when you're used right, but it also makes you basically have to use another skill to catch the melees. So you basically need to use Wind on the Last Journey with this one.
My second favorite skill. My favorite deck is Endless Way and Wind of the Last Journey. I love that combination.
Yeah,
God,
go
Komachi's
very
ults
well
just sound really
together.
awesome.
Well, they are all
What's a
awesome
Wind on
from
the
what I've
Last Journey
seen.
now. We can talk
I don't
about
s-
winds.
I don't see many of the odds used usually. Though I don't see enough Komachis in general, so... oh. yeah.
Wind is really useful.
Yeah,
And a lot of people make some mistakes against it. For example, they trying to attack you or something like that because you can't tech after you get hit by. So people don't know what to do when they tech. So they ended up getting counter hit by J6A or 66C,
yeah.
things like that.
Even though Wind on the Last Journey doesn't knock down, it's not like Komachi's at a bad spot when it tech happens, because she can always just jump back J6A and you can't actually press any sort of button against that. You just
Yeah.
get counter hit.
You just have to be
While-
careful. 623C.
While we're on that topic, let us move on to the 63s. Tell me about Wind on the Last Journey, because this seems like one of the more fun alts to use for Komachi, but I don't know anything about Komachi meta, so maybe you can tell me about this one.
So, I really like a lot of things about this. First, it's a really decent BE catcher. Because
It's
it's
the
really
best one,
fast and yes, definitely. After close coin the corner, things like that. And it really is good to combo. Like you have a really good mid-screen combo with it. It does like 2.6k damage, and it's really good. The B punish can be really harsh with 623C, and you can combo from 2A. So if you combo into 2A, you can even combo a spell after that.
Yeah.
So it can be
2A
really
wins
useful.
one card. Good.
It's just like your move, but worse.
Yeah. I also like it for the synergy with the one card because it's tied into it if you're close enough, and basically you get to make it safe and keep the pressure up afterwards.
Yes, and the chip damage is a thing, because if you do, for example, 6XA, 623C, 3 card, 6XA, 623C, you get an Aya combo out of chip damage. It's a lot of 623C and the 3 card. It's just an example of the damage. You don't have to do that all the time.
Oh yeah, another thing is that it's like super fast. It's
Yes.
the combos from 2A, it's like 10 frame move, which is only 1 frame slower than the jab. But it's
It's
also
big.
like huge. So
Wait,
you can
that's
just
a
kind
10
of like
frame?
throw it out there and people will just either run into it or a little like surprise them. Like it's actually a legit wake up option sometimes.
Yeah, you can like
Okay.
poke people
Wait,
with that
you can't
giant
dash that
thing.
It's a very meaty melee move. So it's
I
like
really
sticking
like-
out.
I really like to use that card versus Vermilia because it stops her movement so greatly. Because all her dashes, dash, J5A, Vermilia likes to do that a lot. You can just stop her with that thing. It's really synergic, Endless Wave and Wind of the Last Journey versus Vermilia. I think it's a really good deck for her.
So, you
Yeah.
know me. I love running my meme cards. Anything that seems unorthodox, I play them. So, one of the things I know about Komachi is that you could run boat meta. Now, tell me about the Alt 623 boat on the Sanzu.
Oh boy.
I like to use
It's an
all of her
interesting
skill
move.
cards, but both I can't use.
It looks cool, but it's actually not as fun as it looks.
cool.
It doesn't really do anything. Like, you have basically a graze attack that's worse than 6-6B because it takes forever to start up. Because, like, by the time it actually gets moving, who's actually going to get hit with it? You actually have to be asleep at the wheel to get hit with this thing. Because it takes forever. It doesn't travel that fast either. So it's just
It
like,
even
okay.
goes backward. You have all the time in the world to notice, oh, she's going to the boat, so I can dodge that easily.
Is there like some blue sky meta, some blue sky tech you can do with this card?
It's
Okay.
good if you run Scythe of the Ripper,
It's
because you can
very-
cancel in midair.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it only has a spell cancel in midair. As soon as you hit the ground, the spell cancel is gone. So it has no synergy with any spell card that she has.
Oh
Because
Wow.
it have no air spells.
But come on, it looks cool, so isn't that a good compensation for that?
No.
Quality versus, you know, what it actually does, right?
You guys need more style, man.
The nice boat.
I mean,
I have a lot
it has
of
like
cool-
one gimmick.
You ram the enemy with a boat on land. How cooler can you get?
You can use the catfish, man. You can throw the catfish and then do in the boat, and since you're in the
Yeah,
boat, you won't
the
be hit
jump
by the
board.
earthquake.
That sounds dank as hell.
You can
I
also
should
do,
make a deck like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
body
it blocks and
crossover.
nothing happens.
But it looked cool. Come on now. Don't say nothing happened. It looks cool. That's the important part.
It's cool when the people get hit by it. So it's not cool because it doesn't hit anyone.
Then use a typhoon or something.
It doesn't hit. It doesn't do that much
No.
damage.
No,
No.
then not real.
So in other words, this card is probably like Banks Tassafro in one
It's a
sentence.
It's the second worst move Komachi has. There's a worse one. If you ever want
Which
to get
one
to
is
it. It's Scythe of Exorcism.
Sight
Do
of
you wanna talk
Exorcism.
about it?
Which one is it?
That move is actually straight garbage.
Hey, I will protect Scythe of Exorcism.
Wait a
Okay,
second, I've seen this before. Doesn't this have like a long startup and it's just really strong?
That's the one that heals you for like 20 health.
You can
It
actually
does
combo.
Nothing. It does
You can-
nothing.
You can combo with it. You can combo, and you can
You
recover.
actually make yourself worse by using this move because you get rid of your 2-1-4s.
But I mean, how much can it maximum? Like, how much can it heal you at most? Or am I thinking of a different skill right now?
No,
That's one way to
this
heal yourself,
is,
right?
It's
I think it's
nothing
like
plus 1.
15 HP per ghost. Let me look it up.
15. Oh wow.
It's like a per ghost basis. Yeah, 15 health for
Like,
ghost.
Even if you
And
level
more-
up.
So it's like, even if you level up, it just makes more of them. But yeah, 15
So
health
you-
per ghost.
So you won't get to heal more than 100 damage at most. Oh Christ.
You're not. You're barely getting 100. It doesn't do anything. In a
Okay,
game where you have 10,000 HP, you know how much 15 is?
Just got to hit more than Tess. Step it up. Just hit the enemy 100 times so
that's
that
less
it
than
will be worth
2%
it.
of your health. Less than 2%.
Just have to hit the enemy 50 times, then where's the problem? Oh
Yeah, it
god.
also
Wow.
doesn't heal instantly. You actually have to go collect them. So it's like, screw OP. Let me get this 30 health real quick.
To see to collect that thing is undoable. Do not do that. You just stay on the 2C animation and wow, we healed nothing.
Oh, I guess you can blow up the ghosts instead.
Please
But
tell
it's
me you
also
buff this in like Soku Unlimited.
In Soku Unlimited, it's actually a crazy combo move.
Oh, okay. See, that's what I was looking for.
You can actually combo.
Like, Komachi's like the best character in Soku Unlimited, so it's like it's everything she has is good.
Biased game developers, man.
Okay,
There should
if
be.
you want to
alts-
talk about a cool 2-1-4, you can talk about Blue Wisp, which is actually my actual favorite.
Lonely Bound
Oh, here we
Spirit.
go.
is pretty cool.
Lonely Bound Spirit. It's like you choose that skill and it changes your life. Like you play Komachi a completely different way once the skill comes into play. Because like usually Komachi uses their 2-1-4 for like neutral, but when you bring out Blue Wisp, it basically turns you into like a fresher character. You put this out and you go to work. You basically cut off your neutral just to make yourself very strong in block strings. Because the way the 2C works is that it is it's better than the normal one because it does more. It's like faster, so it doesn't. You don't have to like delay the 2C cancel afterwards. So, and it also does. You can also charge it for like 2 orbs almost guaranteed after any blocked command melee.
I didn't even know you could charge that. Cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's really cool. I really like this skill because it's really good versus person versus characters that don't have really. No, they can clear your 2-1-4, your default 2-1-4. So, like for example, Yukari, you won't be using 2-1-4 default too often because you can just use laser and kill all of your spirits. So Lonely Bound Spirit is good because now you have a really good Okizeme. It's the second best Okizeme card Komachi has, losing on to Endless Wave. And it has a lot of other uses. For example, you can snipe people. It's really worth to level up that card to level 4 because in level 3 that thing is huge and does a lot of damage on counter hit.
It
And
also
it's-
has like huge duration too, so it's, people just run into it because it covers the. It actually like sticks around for a while.
Yes, and a lot of, and the good thing about it too is that you can, when you equip the card, you can actually use it right away, and it will be useful in any situation. Because if you knock down the opponent, you can just equip, and there it is, the Okizeme. You don't lose the Okizeme to equip the card. You use the card for the Okizeme, and you level it up. It's really something that most people don't notice and how useful it is.
Yeah, you basically get like this awesome, like it makes you play different. It's good, and it's good in a different way than the default 2-1-4. It's just all around useful. This is like offense out the ass.
I like to do some tricks too with the 3 card. If you just use, for example, 5A, charge, Lonely Bounce Fury, and then 3 card if they try to get out on reaction or things like that.
So we're talking about the spells now, right?
Did we go over all the good skills? I guess.
I mean, how many good spells does she have?
Sounds like
Komachi
patchouli.
skills are good.
We
Except
can go
for... Default to
Ritual of
3-6.
Well, yeah, do you still want to mention another skill, or should you move on to spells?
Okay, I guess I can give like a quick rundown or a shout out to default 236. It's pretty reliable, despite looking really kind
It's
of
good
lame.
on neutral. It's good because you don't have to equip any card. That is an advantage. And you can use it some combos, you can use for some strings, and you can use it neutral. It's good all around.
In default 623, it's also kind of pretty good.
It's the option when you
Wait,
don't have
which one
a...
is the 63 again? Default one.
Um,
Was it the one where she
Bounce
spawns
Spirit
wisps?
Yeah.
Alright. I guess that's better used as an Oki tool.
Fun
Yes,
fact
yes.
about that one is that it used to be a move that actually spawned ghosts when it came up, and it would do damage on the way up. But
Don't
then
even tell me about it.
It nerfed. They nerfed it very hard for some reason. I don't understand why.
She was too high tier.
To look cool. It was just look cool. Look, they're on the back of the screen. They won't hit you, but now they will. It doesn't...
Yeah, man. It was OP. Definitely
Why?
deserved it. If
Yeah.
you want to play with that version of the 63, you can always load up Unlimited. And the last thing we can talk about is like Ritual of Ecstasy. That I guess is like gimmicky. It gets okay at level 1 because it
Wait,
gets a little bit faster.
What does it? Okay, it just gets faster at higher levels.
Yeah.
Can you avoid some spells with it, for example? For example, crush spells?
Well, not really.
Usually
because it's
don't
kinda
because
slow.
of the startup, yeah.
It doesn't
But,
really.
but if you want to try using it good, what do you have to do for it?
Basically want to either set up a trap or just disorient them. So like throw them somewhere where they're not expecting to be, and then like either punish or like annoy them, like wasting time. It's good for running away in Typhoon. That's one thing.
Yeah, yes, that is. Definitely.
Imagine that.
It's a
Well,
thing.
it gets better in other weathers.
You just swap away and then swap again, and it's very hard to chase you if you swap from full screen because it basically resets where they are.
I love what I just witnessed in this video.
The thing is, it's okay. It's really better if you level up, but you will be losing Endless Way and Taste of Death. It's a huge loss. So I don't
Also,
recommend.
Is the only skill that gets no effect by leveling it. At level 2 and level
2 to 3.
2 to 3 it does nothing. It actually does nothing. You level it does nothing.
The same as
It's
the Sakura.
never like stop to bother me that you get nothing by leveling this move.
But what does it get on level 4? Even faster startup?
Yeah.
Nah, that's still not worth it. So if you want to run it, pick only one of them at most.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not worth to level up to level 4.
Does it
Just
get
wait for
anything?
Sprinkle.
Does it get any bonuses in Sprinkle? Like, do you have any Sprinkle specific combos or usage of it?
It's pretty hard to use the teleporting combos.
It's
It
really
kinda-
specific. It's really specific. You shouldn't bother with it.
Alright.
There are also some really crazy OTGs where the thing has this property where even if you're knocked down and you use it in the air, it'll bring you up off the ground.
Yeah.
So you can actually OTG, like Marvel style, but super specific and not worth doing in a game.
You can do some cross-ups if you level up, but then again, don't level up.
Kujibiki's asking about the the catfish setup with teleport. Is that a thing?
I mean, it's basically the same idea as the Sequito one, where you just teleport, switch the direction, and then catfish will cross them up while you're
It's
invincible.
better than both.
Yeah, it definitely is better than both, mostly because you don't have to actually do anything to make it work.
Yes.
you have it by default, so it's like easy enough to just throw it out when you have the chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's a good time to talk about the skills. I mean, the spells.
Okay,
I
well
think we've gone
there's
over like every skill.
there's
Yeah.
a lot of spells.
But
So
do we want
do
to cover
we-
them all?
Yeah,
Else, like,
do you want to cover them all, or
let's-
just go over a couple that you think need some shoutouts?
A couple that we think is important.
Yeah, not all of them are useful. Some of them are
Okay.
just like
I don't want to talk about both.
one card
Again?
is just damage, minor damage spell. It's not going to help you that much,
No.
except in like the semi-rare instance you get like 5A, A, 5B, then it's like corner carry and damage. But other than that, it's not the very good card.
The damage isn't so great, and you'll be just standing there with that card until you get the hit confirmed. So
Yeah, it doesn't hit confirm very well.
I don't really like to use it. My least
Also-
favorite.
Yeah.
the other one, I guess, is the Spirit Sign, which works the same way as the default 6-3.
Spirit sign. Oh yeah, abundant
Yeah.
floating spirits. That thing is broken.
It's
It's actually like
broken.
one of the best one cards in the game.
It's
Oh,
really
yeah,
cool.
No, but
Really
hold on,
good.
hold on, hold on. Before you talk about this, one thing I learned about this spell is that you can block it low and it'll do less orb damage. Am I correct in saying
That's what I
this?
was going to say. That's what I'm going to say. People have to block that low. If you can't do that spell on Oku, because if she blocks low, her 3A will hit faster than any other move Komachi has.
Oh no.
That
Oh yeah,
doesn't
even if it
work on
crushes,
Oku.
it's still punishable.
That doesn't work on Oku. You can just backdash. It's the least thing you can do. Or block. You won't keep the pressure if you use that spell versus Oku. It's really annoying.
Yeah, but yeah, abundant floating spirits is pretty strong. You can
It is.
basically use it to reset pressure. You can use it for crush setups. You can use it to make yourself safe. You can use it to change the weather because it's cheap and has like barely any recovery, and it's like must have for like
One card.
every deck.
Seriously, it's way too
For
cheap.
one card, it does everything.
Yeah. Just don't use it on Oku, please.
Yeah, not without some distance.
I'm tired
can't
of
find
getting
a way.
over fucking Machi.
What
Machi getting called out twice this podcast already.
I fucking hate
Poor
you.
guy.
If you're listening, I
So-
fucking hate you, Machi. Then let's keep going.
Like the gist of this card is you either have like a command melee or special at a good enough distance where you can go into the card and its type and you can't border escape, and basically it puts them into a 50-50-50.
6-6A melee skill, it's really one of the best setups. First, mainly because 6-6A usually will rank block, because people don't tend to block high while Komachi is so close to them, because she doesn't have many options. So 6-6A is really the option. And into Taste of Death you get chip damage and you keep pressure. And you if you hit the 6-6A you can still combo. So it's a good setup.
Yeah, definitely. You can also do stuff like far A, and if you know they're going to block wrong, you can 6C, and 6C is tight even at a pretty good distance, so you can go and like have the distance where they can't actually where you can keep the frame advantage, because that thing isn't as strong as it is at close range as it is at far range.
Yes, it really needs to be in a right distance for it to be really good. 236 is good to make it airtight too.
Yeah, and especially you have to watch out if they crouch the card, because it also lowers the hits and frame advantage a considerable amount.
Yeah. It's a really good card overall.
Even if they like do block it, you get like a crazy mix-up where it's either high, low, or succeed. It's like 5 orbs right there.
Yeah. Except if they block low.
Yeah, broken card. I
It's
love
really
it.
good.
Well, when we're talking about broken cards, I really want an explanation on the two, for me, the two most interesting cards in the game, and that would be both of our 5 cards. The one being the exchange card, and the other one being the life cutter. First of all, are these two? Well, are both of them actual reversals? Like, are you involved from frame 1?
No.
Life swap is the useful one is not.
Yes. Short life expectancy is not the reversal.
Because I just saw in the video that someone used the life swap against Yukari's trains, which is really hilarious. That makes me ask, like, is there any way you can use the life swap as a normal reversal, or does it have to be some kind of heavy with punish? Or can you even combo into it?
It takes way too much to be a reversal. It's really easy to react. For example, I used one time.
It's like 51 frame startup.
So
we have to
I used it one time to be safe. For example, I was in Typhoon versus Suika, and she was with Rock. So I used the spell so the Rock won't hit me.
Oh wow.
Typhoon, that's like, I spent 5 cards just to do that. Survive Typhoon.
By 51 frames, so that means you couldn't use it against common normals in this game, right? Like a normal 6 or 3A should still be fast enough to be safe against that.
Yes.
Oh, that's a bummer. Is there anything that combos into it?
Yes, yes.
I heard that Arch 3A, if it does not counter hit.
Yes, and 6A charged.
So only 3 and 6A have to be charged, and that's the only confirm they have.
Yes, if
those are actually not that hard to confirm off like DP blocks, because you can block a DP, go into like charge 6A as the punish 5 card, and you basically swap health.
Oh wow, against DP, that sounds fun.
Yeah. It can be useful. I usually run that card with Blue Wisp and Scythe of the Reaper because these 2 cards can...
Yeah, they also naturally combo into it.
Yes, with Broad Crush.
Yeah, if you crush with the Blue Wisp, and only the Blue Wisp crush does this, you can combo into you can confirm the crush and do the life swap. I have a video where I do that to Dekarabia. Hold on, I don't think I showed that to you. We should add it into the screen.
I mean, if you have more videos, I'll be more than happy to show them off.
Okay, let me see here.
And you can... What was it? You can combo with... You can... If you GC with Scythe of the Reaper, and you do land, because Scythe of the Reaper, it's really easy to continue pressure after it, because if you land after Scythe of the Reaper, you can do anything you want. If you use Scythe of the Reaper and land, you can use the spell with the Scythe of the Reaper GC.
That sounds cool. Oh, right, I guess the 5 cards also work well in Monsoon.
Yes. You can get some really interesting combos where you can do like 6-6B or like 6-6A 2-1-4 into card, but only in Monsoon. So it's pretty situational.
I should make a deck where I run all of these 5 cards and then force Monsoon all the time. Might be even a legit tactic.
I think like the most legit actual like confirm you can do is probably like 2C with the Blue Wisp counter hit into it, because it has a ton of hits done, so you can confirm this.
Yes.
But you need like 1-2C. You just get that 1 counter hit, and you just go, or J2A, or do like there's a combo near corner where you can do like J6A, land 2C, and then 5 card, and that also combos.
That's why you should always run Blue Wisp.
Yeah, if you want to actually use this card, you should use it.
Yes, you have to use Blue Wisp.
PSA just asking what he can confirm the live swap with. Did we just talk about that?
Yeah. 6A charge, 1 blue wisp J6A 2C into it, or go for a crush with 2C. Like in the video I just posted to Zero Fuse, he should put it on soon.
Soon. I'm sorry, these combos are like, they're really blowing me away.
They're mesmerizing everyone who's watching it right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, enough of the 5 cards. Are there any other spell cards you guys seem interested in talking about? I mean, we know what the pillar is for. I guess the life swap 4 card, not the life swap, but the one where you can regain life is as useless as the skill.
Yeah, it's like... It really only does good damage if your back is to the wall, so it's not very good in like actual games, but...
Yeah, it's really specific, the good hit confirm, so I wouldn't recommend.
Yeah, it's hard to get very good things out of it, but if you do get in the good situation, you recover like 2k, so I guess it's not that terrible.
You can recover 2k with it, if used right, oh wow.
Yeah, but it's very hard
but
to use it right.
One confirm in one stage of the screen, it's not really consistent.
I mean, it's enough to run like 1 or 2 of those in their hands, just in case.
Not really.
That's what you think.
You get more consistent healing with Healing Charm.
Okay, that is an argument. That's actually an argument. Then they cost way less. Okay. Just, wait, is it actually a valid tactic to use the Healing Charm and then just use the teleport skill? Over and over?
I think
sounds retarded enough, but it might work.
Full heal Komachi, use max healing charms, use the Scythe of Exorcism that can heal you, and then use the 4 card that also heals you. And then just
I do have a deck like that, and the life swap with it. Perfect.
And then you just heal, do no damage.
I should have used that one against the Genki. Might have worked.
He's like the only character that can do 20k HP with damage in a round. You can kill people twice, bring them down to 1 HP, swap life, and then heal them again.
Have you ever managed to do that?
No.
Or is it much of a dream to happen?
It's very hard to get. You have to be really styling on someone to just do 10k when they're at 1 HP. When you're at 1 HP now.
We need someone to show it off for a tournament or something like that. But alright, I guess that's about it for the spells, or do you want to mention something else?
We didn't even talk about your best spell, so I don't know how we're done.
Miracle Finds of Avicii.
Miracle Finds of Avicii, right? Yep.
Yeah.
It's really the best spell.
It's broken. It's
broken.
Even more broken than one card. It does everything.
Yes. You can just decide to do that after any hit you want, practically.
It's almost impossible to use this card badly. It basically, you use it in block string, good idea. Use it for Oki, good idea. Use it to crush, good idea. Use it randomly in neutral, not even a bad idea, because they can't touch you. You basically get to run away for as long as you want, because the horizontal movement that card does, it just like, you can't go through it very easily.
Yeah, it works with practically every skill she has.
Yeah,
after every skill you can use that, except for both.
Yeah, that's why both sucks.
That's why I don't use both.
You basically use it, you reset, you have frame advantage after this. And even if they BE, they're not safe.
Yes.
So you
has good damage and you continue pressure.
Yeah, it also does an orb, so it's very good at ending strings as well. If you can confirm them down to 1 orb, this card will finish them.
And you can still make some combos mid-screen, so you can set up her mid-screen. And it's way easier to cross up people when that thing hits mid-screen.
Yeah, it's very strong Oki even after the knockdown. Another thing that this card can do is that it's also super fast. So you can react to escapes and then crush and then catch them. Like if they're trying to like board escape, you can just card and they're just slam them back down to the ground.
Yes.
And it's also very good at basically like tricking people that your block string is over, and then at the last second just doing the card, bam.
It's way too good.
Now, was this in a fight versus Dekarabia?
Yes, this is like real match footage versus
That
Dekarabia.
was like sick as fuck. Holy, nice.
It was really cool.
The worst part is that I almost lost again, but I did pull off the life swap. Like, I was so hype after landing that I was just not even focused anymore.
Are there any other spells that you would like to talk about before we hop into the rest of Komachi?
I think Cypher Final Judgment is worth
3-card mode,
mentioning.
maybe? Oh yeah, 4-card is definitely better than the 3-card. Yeah, that card does a lot of damage raw. The way the combo system works is that
It's sad.
Komachi
It's a
adds a
little
lot
sad.
of extra proration to her moves. Like, she has a lot of smash lift with her just basic combos. So we're adding spells to the end of combos don't really add that much damage. And
But the raw damage of this spell is way too crazy. You should run because of that.
I'm sorry, what spell is it?
yeah,
Cypher
Cypher
Final-
Final Judgment. Yeah, like the fact that Soku has this weird thing where the first hit of a spell does reduce damage. And since the spell only does one hit, it does reduce damage always if it's in a
But
combo.
why?
Sad.
So it's kind of sad. But yeah, raw it does 4,000 damage, but in a combo you're barely hitting 3k. So it's a little bit iffy as a confirm, but it's very good for like punishing stuff like Sub Sun, where if they go up to Sub Sun, you just bring down the Cypher Final Judgment, that's 4k for free.
Yes, even Rocket Dive or even Remilia's with DP. You can punish Remilia's DP if you block it, of course, with the 4-card and you get 4k free.
Yeah, anything that's just like super punishable is a free 4-card.
And it's full screen, so you don't need to space anything. And you can combo into 2A hit confirm, I mean. If you have Wind of the Last Journey. It will be like 3.3k, but it's decent with a 2A confirm.
Yeah, it's an okay skill to bring around, especially if you're against opponents that like to use those really very risky punishable moves like Sub Sun. Like I'd always bring it against an Oku player that likes to use Sub Sun because it basically means they can't do it if you have it.
Yeah.
And
That's about it for the spells.
we talk about 3-card boat a little. That card is unique.
In Deep
Because-
Fog.
Yeah, it has pretty good synergy with Human Spirit passing by, actually. 'Cause
Yeah,
you
it can be served as punish sometimes too.
Because you can do dash through 236C and then 3-card, and then since it comes from behind you, you can lock them in block string from
It does a
not
lot of
from
damage.
behind. Yeah, it also does a huge amount of damage for some reason. Like,
It's way better than the 4-card to deal damage. It's weird. And if you do 5A, 6A, if you're close to the corner, if Komachi is close to the corner, you can combo too.
yeah,
With 4k damage.
it's very hard to hit confirm, but if it hits, it hurts. It also drains a lot of spirit if you try to graze through it.
Yeah,
But
Spring Haze is a good option sometimes. If the person blocks, they will have a lot of spirit damage, and if they dash, they will have even more spirit damage.
Some of the things you can do with this card is like do strings where you leave them at just like a teeny bit of spirit and just go in and throw out the 3-card and watch them suffer.
Yeah, just use it, because the only way they will...
Can you not get mashed out of it?
I
Usually
mean,
not, because you have...
it covers you while it's active. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I thought it was on damage unless you activate.
The only way to avoid it is to dash upwards. But if you have no spirit, you'll be
You
crushed.
won't be
Can't go
able to.
anywhere.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you also can't BE at all while it's active. So Good luck
Yeah.
when you're stuck in
Well,
that
you
thing.
could be while it's active, like while the wisps are flowing around.
Yeah.
That's pretty brutal.
Spell Flash is good. It's kind of specific. It has some good options, good ways to use it, but it won't be using too much in a match.
Yeah. I occasionally try to use it in like decks where I use the
Human Spirit passing by.
human. Yeah, because you can like do
Yeah, it's really good.
2-3-6C if they are behind you. Like you do go behind them 2-3-6C and just 3 card and they'll strap them. But
That's
other
one of
than
the
that-
spells. That's one of the spells that it's really good with a skill card. For example, the Resolute Bound Spirit, the 3 card, is really good when you have Lonely Bound Spirit.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk.
Because you can charge
Yeah.
it and then use the spell and it's full orb damage.
Yeah,
5 orb
because-
damage.
5 orbs at once off any command melee block. They're definitely gonna try to beat you first opportunity if you actually set this up.
Yeah. Something weird about Resolute Bound Spirit is that it throws 5 spirits, but it deals only 3 orb damage.
I
Raw.
think it's yeah.
It's okay, but you don't have to show me the 5 lonely spirits. Since it won't be dealing 5 orb damage.
Yeah.
But it's still good as Okizeme. You can use 2 and 4 charge, then cancel into the spell, and you have a strong and scary Oki. It's really good on characters that have long tech, because the spirits will take way too long to get to the character if they tech.
Yeah. You want to basically have it in like Diamond Dust or some other opportunity where you can make sure that they're going to be blocking after you go into the 3 cards because it takes a while. If you charge 2 and 4 into 3 card, you're definitely going to lose Oki.
Yeah, or versus Yuyuko, because Yuyuko has a really small tech. So we can chase it and the spirits will be already there. Like, it's really useful.
It's one of those moves that take a. It's situational, but it works well if you can get it to work.
Yeah. It's not much to use, Joe. It's really not much used.
It's basically a blue wisp style deck option. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're not going to see it much.
Yeah, totally.
I think that's with every spell, isn't it? I
Mm,
don't think we said much about short life expectancy, but there's not much to say about it. It's just like it won't kill.
It's hard to confirm, but it's self-explanatory what it does, yeah.
Yeah. Every deck lock. I spent the whole match with this thing on. And I'll never get a confirm, but still win the match.
It's not that hard to confirm, but you can't do it from most of your combos. It's like you need a little bit of a more easy confirm for this. Most people just wait for dial A, but there's some other confirms that are lesser known,
Yeah.
like 668 214. It's another thing you can do. You can also do like J6A counter hit into this. You can also do
Roll 2A into.
yeah, Raw 2A is also one of the better confirms.
Raw 2A works into that?
Yeah,
If you
no,
roll 2A
J2A.
and land. Oh,
Oh,
J2A.
J2A.
Yeah, if you
J2A,
J2A, sorry.
5
I
card.
was about to ask why the hell it's way would work. But alright, with the spells gotten out of the way, we are close. We're nearing the end actually, but I still want to ask. Komachi is being barely played, like, you won't find many Komachi mains. I'm actually surprised we found 2 for this episode. Why do you think that's the case? Like, what do you think makes Komachi so unappealing to most players?
I don't think that she's like unappealing. She's just very hard to get stuff out of her.
A lot of people like her moves, like they are, how they are. They think it's really cool, but I think that don't make the people play her. It's that she doesn't feel much safe to play with her. You have to be really careful with your choices and all. People prefer, like, for example, using Marisa and just spam 5C, and people won't punish you for this. It's a strong bullet or thing.
Like Komachi is like more not the. You have to really pay attention to like distance and stuff like that. Obviously, when you're playing this character, because you aren't going to have the best up close options, so you want to make sure to maintain like a mid range. And like when you're starting out the game, just like trying to keep all of this in mind is very hard because you just want to like go and try to move around and attack, but it's Komachi, you have to make sure you get these attacks out at the right spot. So
you just
like,
have to think a lot about your spacing. Komachi is all about punishing movement.
yeah, it's a hard thing to get used to, and you can't do it without really playing Komachi for a long time.
So you think not many people play her because it will take a lot of time until she actually pays out to be played?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's just one of the more complicated in terms of style of how to get like real good with her. It takes a while.
Usually people prefer rush down characters and all. And to be fast and hit people.
The guerrilla tactics. I wanted to be one, but Komachi doesn't fit that style.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't play Ungo with Komachi. You have to hold things when you block as well, because you don't have any reversals or anything like that. So if you're stuck there blocking, you're gonna have to either wait or just take it.
She's fast, doesn't have much fast moves, and has no reversals. So yeah, she's not good while blocking.
But alright then, so I think we can make that point the last one, matchups. From what I see, Komachi doesn't look like she could have any bad matchups, but maybe you can correct me, like what character could be good against her and why?
Well,
A lot of characters.
the most
characters.
important thing you have to keep in track of Komachi is that her bullet game only has a B1 bullet, and that's like the best thing she can throw out on the screen. So anyone who has the ability to throw out a lot of B1 bullets at once can basically throw Komachi out for like basically invalidate all she has on the screen in just one move.
It's really
So,
suffocating.
So like Sakuya or Patchouli should be pretty difficult for her to handle.
Yeah. Sakuya, Patchouli, very bad matchups. Reimu, I think, is probably one of the worst. Yukari is also super hard for Komachi to beat.
As a Suika, I feel the same. People who outdance your bullshit, that's not nice to have. So if you were fighting against a Komachi, you should actually focus on beating her in bullet fights, right?
Not all the time, because if Komachi knows that you're beating her bullets, she'll try to get advantage of that. But you just have to pay attention. You have to see where the bullet is, because you can't be surprised.
So kind of like Tenchi then. If her bullets are getting like really wrecked and stuff, and the matchup is just not in her favor, she's just gonna have a bit more of a passive neutral.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
She has to adapt a lot to the neutral.
Yeah. Like, you can't just go in and like expect the same thing to work against this character as you did against the last character, because
bullet wars, man.
how you will lose a lot of bullet wars, so you're gonna have to play with movement a lot. And J6A, basically how other characters like interact with this. Like, some characters can crouch under it, some characters can beat it out with some moves. So it's basically mastering your J6A when it comes to matchups where your 5C just doesn't work anymore. And you have to like get the most out of every single opportunity, because you're not going to get a lot of them against like a Yukari.
Yeah.
Like, if you're against like a good Yukari, you basically have to get in and basically win from there, which isn't exactly the easiest thing.
Sounds easier said than done.
Yeah, because like as soon as you get kicked out, you're gonna lose more than around like half your life trying to get back in, because it's very hard.
At least Yukari is as fat as you.
Yeah, it's
So
the
you
same
can-
thing race.
And she's low, but her bullets are way too annoying, and her anti-airs are so annoying too. It's hard.
Yeah.
But Komachi actually has some advantage versus some strong characters like Aya, which
I
can't
feel like
clear
the
her
Aya
bullet.
matchup is actually not that bad.
It's
compared
not
to
bad.
others, because she can't penetrate Komachi's 5C at all
You should
without using her
always
6C.
run default 2-1-4 versus Aya, because
Yeah.
it's way too good.
It's a
You can just
wall
decide to
gainer.
get the neutral basically. Not every time, of course. But
I feel like
it's
Komachi
better
also
than-
is good against Oku. So
Yeah.
it's until Oku hits you, but
I think everyone thinks like that against Utsuo. The
It's
match
good.
was well until she
Utsuho
hits
can't
you.
answer Komachi's J6A at all. Like, she has no answer to this move. She can't crouch under it, unlike most of the cast. So you have full reign to Jace keep her in place with J6A until she either BEs it or decides that she doesn't want to let you dash in your face anymore. She also
Yeah.
has subs for that, so it's not as bad as you think it would be.
For example, since Komachi has the best tools to punish movement, and Oku has the most punishable movement, yeah, it's a really good matchup. And Iku too, sometimes, not exactly all the time, because Komachi has some bullets that can.
Yeah,
Kill
Komachi
Iku.
actually wins the density war against Iku.
I can't believe that.
The only
That's-
problem is that
It's not
Iku,
unbelievable.
it's just bad for Komachi still, because Iku has perfect fly and she can maneuver to your 2-4 and all, and her J2A is way faster than yours, so yeah.
Iku is a little bit complicated.
It's-
You're gonna have to really
not
think about
bad.
how you use the 5C, because you want to have it where she wants to J2A, so she can run into it instead of hitting you.
That sounds
Yeah.
interesting in a way. Place the 5C where she will do her J2A.
Yeah,
And
5C
what-
is that move.
Another character that is really strong, but Komachi still is not so bad
Vermilion?
versus yes, it's a Vermilion.
I was wondering when you're gonna say that. Komachi is actually really good versus Vermilia. Like,
Yeah, but
you throw 5C on Vermilia, and 50% of the time she'll just ram her face into it. It's actually kind of funny.
yeah. But for me, you should always run Endless Way and Wind of the Last Journey versus Vermilia, because Vermilia has this shitty mechanic of her dash, so he can dash through Taste of Death if you cancel.
Oh yeah,
interface.
it has like iframes, so
So that's
yeah,
why I
Baxter
would
always
never,
complained about that. If you
I would
have
never.
if you
Yeah, I
use
remember.
if you use Taste of Death as soon as you do 6A right block, the iframes will line up with the active frames of the move, so she just moves through it for free. So you either have to delay it a tiny bit or just don't use it.
Yeah. For example, if you use 6-6A and canceling Taste of Death, as soon as you hit the 6-6A, she can still dash through. So like, it's ultra punishable. He can dash and punish you immediately. So that's why I don't recommend. And Wind of the Last Journey is a good melee versus Vermilia, because you can stop her movement with the giant melee wall that appears out of nowhere.
Yeah. Also, Komachi's jab is very.
Yeah, it's good.
It beats her jump in very well, unless she uses J2A.
Yeah.
I think with that, we spoke pretty much about everything we wanted to. Or do you want to chip in on anything?
Talk about my least favorite matchup ever.
Racing.
Racing is on my least favorite matchups list.
Racing is my top one most hated matchup ever.
What's so bad
I
about
guess
Racing?
the beat bullets are kind of annoying for Komachi.
She can punish
kinda just
every
go
whiffed
around.
move of Komachi.
Like, there's nothing you can do without the threat of not Vermilia, Racing just hitting B at you and then getting a full combo. Like, can't jab, you can't 5C unless you're like far full screen. You can't jump at her. You can't.
Even if you 5Cs, you can just 6C charge it and she clears the whole screen.
Yeah, like even if you do like charge 214, she just clears it effortlessly.
Yeah. It's really bad. She's fast, it's hard to hit. So bad.
I also feel like Yuyuko is a pretty bad matchup for Komachi.
Although, you can do some things. At least you can use 214. The only problem is that Yuyuko has that perfect fly shit, and she can just maneuver to your 214 and still hit her 2A on you.
And she also, you can't block her bullets. That's one thing that comes into play a lot, is she'll just overwhelm you with just bullets from all directions, and even though your 5C is still intact, you might not be near it at the time, so it's just like, oh damn, you have to start blocking.
Yeah, like Patchouli, Yuyuko gives you no space to use your melee, because Komachi needs space to do the melees because they are slow. They are long-reaching, but they are slow.
As Patchouli main, I can say there's no way you're coming near me.
Yeah, it's really hard. That's why I run Parasol. Judge me.
No, I think Parasol vs Patchouli is great actually. It saved Sanger like 5 times during a set with him yesterday. It was it was really interesting.
The secret tech.
But it's really annoying that Parasol doesn't work on Racing because of her 5C bullet explosion.
Oh yeah.
And Yuyuko, because that doesn't make any sense. That is so annoying.
Yeah, it just doesn't interact.
That's so shitty. But I use Parasol versus Yukari and Patchouli. It's the best matchup to
Really?
use.
Why Yukari though? Like Yukari's 5C is just like the one shot, and then you should be fine.
But I mean, she can
easily
also chain them
clear your
together.
5C.
Yeah, it goes through everything. It hits Komachi through her 5C, even if she's near it, because it's so wide.
One thing that I do is use Parasol, and then use 5C, and then I shield the 5C with the Parasol. So Yukari won't be able to take it out. That doesn't work every time, of course, but it's used for most.
Just like any character that can really invalidate 5C really makes Komachi's life hard.
Yeah,
I think you can see the common theme here. That 5C
like
is everything.
for example, Mei-Ling. Mei-Ling is really annoying because all her bullets can clear 5C, almost. Except for the B bullets.
Yeah. I don't think Mei-Ling is as bad because she can't move forward through the 5C as well as like everyone else. It's kind of just like a wall.
Yeah.
It's basically it's a waiting war against Mei-Ling. Like you can't go near her and she can't go near you. So it's just sit there.
Like she's a rushdown character, but she places a wall in front of her. So okay, you have a wall, but have a wall too. Come here.
I also think the Yomu matchup is up and down. Sometimes
hey, Michael! After 1 hour! I've been revived. Hello! What are we talking about, Yomu? Tell me everything.
If Genki got drunk in that time.
Sorry, but I really had literally nothing on to add, so I am feeling a bit tired. So I just decided to rest
for the longest time.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I was actually waiting for that. Like when you started to talk about matchups, I was like, "When is Yomu?" I know you're going to say something about that.
I feel like Yomu is mostly even though. I don't feel like there's a clear advantage in this matchup.
I can agree.
The advantage Komachi has is mainly in neutral, because Yomu can't really pass the 5C without getting hit by the 5C, but Yomu can use the default 2-2 or 6C to clear, and even Reflector. Reflector is actually good, because the 5C goes back to Komachi.
Yeah, really? Wow, I need to write this down. Actually, I thought it was one of those bullets that actually didn't interact with the reflector. Actually, didn't know.
Remember when I said when the longer the 5C is on the screen, the more awkward it gets. So if you use Reflector, it will keep getting awkward. So we get awkward back to Komachi. Got it. So it's really annoying sometimes.
Yeah, I feel that the neutral against Komachi gets a bit strange. I didn't fight enough Komachi to tell, but the few times I did, the 5C was actually quite of a problem. And not to speak of the 6A and 4A as an anti-air, so your air game has to be a bit more controlled because, anti-airs, they are real in this matchup.
Yeah, but since Yomu is such a fast burst down character, she can punish most of Komachi moves if she tries to set up way too close or mid-range.
That's true. Yeah. I can use SOP or SOE or 6A, whatever actually. The recovery of Komachi moves is huge, usually.
Yeah, it's a little hard to pressure Yomu too because she's small. You know.
She can dash under J6A. That is a major problem. You have to adjust to a J2A or J5A, and those aren't nearly as good with the air dash.
Yeah, you have to high jump 7, 6-6, J5A to catch that dash.
It's pretty wild. Basically, need to play her differently, but if you can catch on to how you play this, it's definitely a even game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look too crazy. Though I can see how I tried Komachi.
Worse than Yomu.
She is shorter, that's for sure, and she gets a bunch of damage on reversal. So yeah.
Also, Yomu's pressure is really good versus characters that don't have many fast pokes like Komachi. So she actually can pressure Komachi pretty hard.
Isn't 2A pretty fast?
8 frames.
Oh, strange.
It's slow for a 2A.
I was sure it was faster.
It's a frame slower than the jab, which is pretty slow for a jab.
Yeah.
As far as jabs go.
7 frames for a jab is pretty normal. Yomu was a 7 frame jab.
But we're talking with 2A that's slower than jab. So.
2A is her fastest move and it's 8 frames, so it's not really fast.
Yomu's got some definite advantages when it gets to be up close and personal.
As usual.
Though that's her best. She can jab Yomu out of some things. Like when she does 6C, tries to cancel into J6A, Komachi's jab is faster.
Yeah.
Well, it's not only Komachi, but other characters can do that too. But the thing is, it's risky. You're kinda risking the counter it.
Komachi's jab is also like crazy in the Sakuya matchup. Did you ever try the Komachi's jab versus Sakuya? Because when she does 2B J2A, jab actually interrupts J2A. You can ask Lionheart about this. It's actually the most annoying thing for Sakuya to deal with because she can't actually use J2A in block strings like at all. Because you can just jab it.
One cool thing about Sakuya too is that if Sakuya is doing, for example, 5A, 5A, and then 6A, you can poke between the 5A and the 6A with 2A. Even if she cancels 5A into 6A, you can hit her out of it. It's pretty weird, and it works most of the time.
The Komachi tech, the knowledge.
Yeah.
But Sakuya is still a terrible matchup, really.
Yeah, definitely one of the worst. In neutral, Komachi has no options at all.
No, she has no space.
5B doesn't work.
J6A doesn't work.
See.
You just have to make it work.
Being the best anti-air ever. You just gotta outplay her thoroughly if you want to win that.
Yeah. J6C is an option versus 2A in some 2B in some occasions, but you can spam that. It's not that reliable.
So, any other character you missed?
We didn't talk about Alice.
Ooh.
I feel like Alice is one of the most controversial matchups, Alice versus Komachi, because I talk to Alice players and they say Komachi wins.
I think
Oh,
Alice does
oh,
and then you
oh,
ask
strange.
me, I would
Oh,
say that
strange.
Alice wins.
Oh, strange.
I think Alice players never say that they win anything.
Of course they say that.
I've had very long arguments with Alice players. That, oh my
Oh,
god,
strange.
Komachi
That's
is unbeatable for this character, and I'm just like, no, man. I feel like Alice can Alice actually comes out on top of this. But yeah, it's up in the air. I rate it down as even, but I feel like Alice has the advantage, like 50% of the game, and then Komachi can get in, and then you can win. But before that, you're struggling.
I think there are a lot of things we can discuss about this matchup. For example, how the 5C actually hits the doll and the doll protects Alice from the 5C.
Yeah.
Or how
one of the
Alice
main
can
things.
use the fall to and give no space to Komachi to do anything. It's like a suddenly patrolling. Suddenly there are a lot of
Yeah.
bullets in the screen and you can't do shit.
You have Far 5A, which invalidates Komachi's Far A, which is usually her best, like, at her optimal spacing. Is actually Alice's optimal spacing, but her poke is much faster.
Yeah, it's really easy to pressure Alice though. She's big. She doesn't have much reversals. She has no fast moves. All her moves are slower than Komachi.
Yeah.
So
like, you can
yeah,
pressure her very hard.
yeah, we can pressure her really easily.
But then she wins neutral against you very hard, so
The
it's
neutral is
going
really
to be a very momentum-based match where it's either you kill them or they kill you. It usually doesn't get close.
Both characters have to really care about spacing. The spacing is really important in that matchup for the both of them.
Yeah, it's one of my more favorite matchups to play though. It doesn't feel unfair like a lot of other characters.
I know.
Anything that was missing? I mean,
I think
We
at
have-
this point everyone is getting tired. I mean, we have had this podcast for 3 hours now, and that's one of our most impressive numbers.
I mean, it's always good to ask.
You want to cut it. You want to go move on to the closer, it's fine.
Well, I just want to know
I could go
because
for another hour if you wanted to.
Oh wow.
okay, then let me rephrase what I ask. Anything vital that you need to add?
So nothing is vital.
I mean, the extra details are fine and dandy, but the podcast has to move on, sadly. But vital stuff is vital. So if anything is missing, just say so.
In the meantime, we can
comment.
also ask the viewers if
Well.
they want to ask anything specific to the guests.
QA.
Yes, that.
And in that time, I can also ask you, Tessiro and Vibago, how did you like the podcast? Is it an interesting idea? Is it something you would like to participate more on? Or are you just here for the Komachi?
Yeah, sure. Invite me anytime.
I would love to. It was really cool.
Do you think you can do the same for the Brazilian community as well?
Sure. I'll base everything with this podcast.
Yo, if you start a Brazilian podcast, hit me up and like I'll shill the fuck out of you. Everywhere.
Sure.
Podcasts
mean-
are great.
We do that all the time. So yeah, we have. If you need to make the South American community a bit bigger, we can shield you out at max power.
Cool.
Okay. Do I have anything to say to new Komachi players?
Those don't exist.
I say make sure to learn your 5C first. That is the most important move you want to learn to get a handle of that move. And try to limit your far A's, because that's also a very easy beginner trap.
Yeah,
Or
and
easy.
most of the time you have to fight to learn how to limit with Komachi, because some combos are really specific. You won't be doing much of the combos you do in practice in a real match. So you have to use her, watch some people doing it. It works.
Yeah, she's got some very volatile combos, and not everything is the most consistent. So it'll just take a while to get used to how her moves hit and be able to make up your own confirms.
Yeah.
Because you can only practice so much until someone gets hit in a weird way, and then you're completely lost on how to limit this.
Yeah, that happens way too often with new people.
So yeah, 5C, trying to limit far A usage, getting some in-game reps with combos, and I think learning how to use that air dash is also super important.
Yeah, air dash, J6A, air dash, J5A. It's really good.
You should learn how to like use it from a high jump cancel on 5B, learn how to use it from just like standing, just do stuff like 2A, air dash, J6A, 2A.
Just learn the 5C.
Just
You understand a lot about her game plan if you learn her basic block string.
yeah.
Because you have to
You
use
go
that.
for block strings.
Yeah.
That's a whole different universe. From her combos. You can't really autopilot with Komachi because stuff that works on hit does not work on block at all.
Yeah. You can't mix things.
So, do we have any more questions? Do we have questions? Instead of Radial asking me.
Really, wants to play.
Interesting stuff.
Crap is asking Tess for Radiant Dawn stream. I don't think anything is missing here.
Didn't Kujibuki want to say something? I thought he had a question.
Really, anyone, just
Oh, I forgot it.
if you have anything to ask, now is the time.
I think everyone is tired at this point. This went on for long enough.
I do
I
have
probably
questions for
answered
everybody.
everything.
Oh wow.
How do you guys feel about the format of the podcast so far? Having 1 to 2 topics so far, and then covering an entire character as best as possible. Should the character come first, or would the character come last? Should the character be done shorter, or is it fine as it is?
I don't know.
I know, because when you're in the wheel...
I can't speak from the viewer experience. I was just
when you're behind
talking.
the wheel, talking about the character, it's a lot easier. You know, there's a lot to mention, there's a lot of data to, like, throw out there. But from a viewer perspective, I don't actually know. I mean, I enjoyed every bit of it. There was a lot of data, and I'm gonna review
I still think you're doing way too much.
I could speak.
surprised you didn't make more big titty jokes.
Okay, here you go. Ready? That's where she stores all her fucking health. Her tits are so big that in any fan RPG where she is in, she's got like 20 million health. That's where she stores it.
That's true. She's always like
no.
HP tank. I don't know why.
The lore. Oh man.
Of course, it's knitting. Like freaking
Out of all people, it had to be hidden.
I mean,
Perfect.
hyper boob avatars. I don't even know if that's what it's called, but that's what I'm gonna call it.
Ivor Boob sounds pretty good.
I guess I'll take this time to do a bit of shilling.
Yeah, my favorite part.
So, actually, wait, I don't have the date on it. Next DC, we wanted to have it be on a Saturday, but
Wait. I have it.
Okay.
I got you, fam.
from now on, I'm just gonna call this Zero's shilling corner.
There you go.
Oh boy, okay, so next Dream Chasers. Dream Chasers 13, A Ghostly Tale from the Netherworld. It's gonna be held on October 15th? Wow, this entire title, this entire thing is perfect. It's so I'm sorry, not festive, it's so Halloween. Oh, that's right, Halloween's coming up. We are in the middle of October, you know what that means? I need to make some sort of Halloween spooky layout for the podcast. Maybe something spooky for
Oh
you.
yeah, boy.
No.
That means the Yuko episode is next, right?
Wait a second, should it be Yuko
I wonder.
or Ramelia? Because you know, bats, Halloween, they're both spooky.
Why don't you have a skeleton Toho yet?
I feel like Yuyuko being the lady of the death should be better.
Spooky.
Pick someone who's really spooky, like Top T. Oh,
So we're
right.
gonna have Irish spook the fuck out of the podcast. Should we have Normac and have him spook us all?
I want to hear what Ron has to say about Yu Yuko.
Oh man,
I
the
think-
episode.
For the Yuka episode, we should have only you because there are no hosts. Just have
And
all,
they'll
just
just
have all the
like-
guests
we
sit there and
have-
let them do their thing.
We haven't
And
a
then
few
Blaze
guys.
Dragon. We get bullied.
What are those to exist?
Get
Okay.
Ren, Relial, Irish.
Outside of
Norm
Dream
Mac.
Chasers, I don't know if Sinius is still doing this, but he did have a date set for his soda, the regionals. I think they're going to be held on the 15th as well. I'm not,
wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that right now.
No, it was the
Didn't he announce this
14th.
in his own server?
Yeah, he did.
It was in the 14th, which is why I did it in the 15 Sunday. Because 14 is the day of the
Oh, yeah, you're
Sota.
right. Okay, so it is the 14th at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so next DC is on a Sunday. All right.
He's thinking about not doing it. I'm not sure anymore.
Have you talked to him at all?
Oh.
Oh, well, maybe it's not for the
No,
podcast. I don't know.
Not about this Sota. So it's interesting. I'm not sure what's gonna happen next with that.
Okay. Also, this Sunday we will have a Sunday
Sunday's
Swiss
Swiss.
by Sanger once again. I guess I'm gonna stream that since, well, we need a stream for it.
Oh,
And,
strange.
Yeah. He likes having a stream for it. I mean, it's kind of hard,
Okay.
but getting or finding someone else to stream. So I just thought I'd offer my assistance. What else was there? I think that was actually it in terms of like upcoming events. I mean, next podcast we could probably hold a poll between Yuko and Remelia to which one's more Halloween.
I
Watch
swear,
someone weird win
Yuko is
again.
better.
Just watch Suwako or so win now.
Suwako is spooky, but not in the
Okay,
right way.
let me actually ask you this. How did we even get Komachi? I mean, she had 13 votes.
Mystery. We might never
I
meet.
have my suspicions. That is all.
Someone rigged. Someone rigged hard.
Someone rigged Komachi, and then Patchouli almost won. It was so close. What?
Yeah, but
More
Patchouli is
negative.
actually the worst character because they had the biggest team and then somehow lost. The Magician's Duel.
Patchouli's the best. People just don't realize that yet.
I don't know, that loss was pretty humiliating. You
Well,
lost
yeah,
to like two
because-
people.
Damn it, Tess, listen to me. I'm only a 6-month Patchouli. Imagine what I'll be like in the next 6 months.
You lost to two people.
Actually.
Who would win? Two Marisa subs or a whole army of Patchouli players?
Oh,
I'll just prove you wrong the next time you have that tournament, which is going to be never. But you know. Feels bad now.
Any other time a team get another excuse for Team Patchouli to exist, and maybe.
Okay. I guess if anybody in Twitch chat right now is not in the Discord already, I do have a link to the channel down below. I do want to give a quick shout out to Sigit's YouTube really quick because he did an entire 3-hour like a whole spiel on Marissa basics, and I think you guys should check that out. It's really in depth. It's very interactive. And you could learn a lot about Marissa if the Marissa podcast was not enough for you. And of course, check out our guy, the Tessiro, on his Twitch channel.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's about it for me.
Are we missing something to chill? It's important. Actually we do. After the 13 Dream Chasers, what's the name? Beginner Beatdown is going to reappear once more. I think it will be around 2020 something. 2025, 24, something like that. So yeah, we're going to get some more Beginner Beatdown. I think that was all.
Oh, I guess I should be shilling Bago too. I didn't know he had a YouTube.
Oh yeah, I actually streamed the Brazilian tourneys.
Oh, that's cool. Shield that. Let's go.
I don't have a link to his YouTube. Shill yourself, my dude.
We're just going to get.
The only way to get more have more people following you is to shield.
Yeah.
give us the goddamn link so we can show you to the world.
Jeez, where is it?
By the way, how do you feel about Sunday Swisses? Just out of curiosity.
Well, it's nice to have a tourney that I don't feel it's not.
It's
it should
casual.
Yeah, it should be more competitive because of how you're fighting everyone. I feel like people don't treat it as such. I don't know why. So I guess a training tourney is pretty good to have.
Kujibiki just posted a link. He's way ahead of everybody, but yes, it
Wow.
is Smashcast.
Wait,
No,
seriously?
wait, no, he posted Twitch. But then there's this is Smashcast. So you can find him at smashcast.tv/23TLP.
Yo, is that Middleton Magician?
Yes, we play a lot of the Brazilian community.
Is it local?
Yeah, no, it's not local.
Oh, online? Last time I played, the connection was like 30 frames per second, maybe.
Yeah, it syncs quite a lot. It's
No.
not
I mean, literally the frame rate, not even the thing. Like last time I played.
It's constantly lagging.
Oh,
Constantly. Even
I thought it was.
It's really bad. But it's still fun.
It's a great game. I'm sad there is no role or whatever to play it. Oh,
Yeah.
sadness.
Yo, AOCF Demo 2 coming out soon?
Oh yeah! Wow, we actually completely. Oh wow, we actually completely
Doremi
forgot to.
confirmed.
It was
well,
Doremi?
Yes.
Yeah,
One of the
Clown
new
Piece.
characters coming is Doremi.
We actually forgot to talk about that. Ah, jeez.
Hey, yo, next podcast.
Yeah, next podcast we will have probably more information, so it's probably better to wait anyway. Okay. Oof. Jeez, this was a long day. So, with this said, I guess we can close it out. So, time to go to sleep. Yukari nap. We will see you guys next time. See ya.
Then goodbye, everyone.
See you later, guys.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Ooh.